bloody.
I'm, as in Tom, is still the better Aquaman. But what do you have to back that up? Even after you still got bukkakied by those Bane players.
Jesus. That might be the intro. I think that's the intro.
We gather around folks and let's shoot the shit with K7 slips and 16-bit. They are the katana of the Midwest, the scorpion of the US, the cabal of the internet, and don't forget the special guest KTP. Kombat Toon Podcast. Now don't tell me that you never heard of that. It's official, it's the original. All imitations are just pitiful. Grab some food and get ready to go. Turn up the volume because it's time for the show.
Welcome everyone to episode 31 of the Kombat Toon Podcast, the official podcast of TestYourMight.com, where we bring you up-to-date news, interviews, and opinions relating to the NRS fighting game community. Come on.
Are we the official?
Yeah, we're the official one.
Dude, Storms isn't paying attention to this.
I don't give a fuck. That was official. I want props.
That was like an infomercial.
Alright, as you guys know, last week we announced Perfect Legend was going to be our guest this week. Now, we set up a time. We all got on Skype. I made my notes. And the time came, and he did not show up. So, it is what it is. And, you guys got anything to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, Carl asked to be on. He requested it. Then he no-shows. And he's been all emo lately, so I don't know what his deal is. But regardless...
He's been requesting for weeks, too.
Yeah, so regardless, if you no-show, you're banned. I don't have time for that. I have important things to do, like playing video games and complaining about Catwoman. So he's banned from the show. He blew his shot.
You're banned, sir.
Yeah, you're banned. The only way he can ever come back is if he wins a major. That's how you lift the ban.
But it works out, because we got a new guest. And this guest actually won his tournament last week. Was that too much?
Yeah, that was harsh.
No, that was awesome.
Oh well. Dude, he took an hour from us on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, man, that
Fuck
sucked.
off.
Yeah, alright.
We got Emperor Theo.
Hey guys, I was just gonna say, so in KTP archives, I'm forever gonna be known as the guy that replaces Carl on the show.
Right, that's right.
That's very flattering.
It's true.
Yeah. Is your real name Theo?
No, my real name is Greek or some shit, as 16-bit says.
Yeah, what? Javon Carpathian?
Carpathian?
like Vigo.
Vigo?
Yeah.
Is there an H in my last name? Do you see an H?
Carpathian?
Vigo. Javon Carpathian?
That's tight.
Yeah.
It's like you totally nailed the pronunciation of my first name, but you just butcher the English language in the last name.
So I'm actually right about the first name.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head on the first name.
That's awesome.
So you're not black. Your name's Javon and you're not black?
It's a black and Armenian name.
Oh.
Armenian?
Interesting.
Armenian is not even close to Greek. Oh well.
Where is Armenia?
It's in the Middle East.
It's not in the Middle East, dude.
What? You are an idiot.
I don't know what that is.
Jesus Christ. Isn't it like Eastern Europe or something?
It's right at the bottom of Russia. It used to be a state in Russia.
Huh.
So are you like friends with M2 Dave?
Do you have the red sun pack?
That's tight.
Yeah, how come you don't use Red Sun Superman?
Yeah,
Okay,
what's
so
up
I'm
with
gonna
that?
be Russian or some shit as opposed to Greek or some shit.
Right.
I do get along with M2 Dave. We are training partners. But, does he even know I'm Armenian? Because I'm sure. Maybe if he knew that I'm, like, part Russian, he'd be convinced that Deathstroke is actually good if I told him.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Alright, let's get to what everyone wants to hear.
Armenians, I know them from the Shield. They ran the mob.
What?
They have a money train.
Yeah, the money train.
The money
From the
train,
Shield?
yeah.
The
Armenian
shield
Scout.
was tight.
Remember,
The Shield was
they have
awesome.
that guy that likes to cut off people's feet. He's tight.
Yeah, I remember that.
At NEC, are you going to cut off KDZ's feet?
If he shows up, I mean, isn't it all about Fantastic now?
Yeah, let's start off right off the bat. Let's get to the
that's
juice.
what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah. Let's not stand on ceremony here. Let's go right ahead.
Let's go into it.
Yeah.
So pretty much fantastic. I mean, you guys discussed last week that the East Coast is really convinced that Superman is just not good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then the West Coast is arguing that Superman is still the best character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Fran is pretty much the main voice that Superman sucks. I mean, like, the first thing he asked me right off the bat is, hey, Theo, like, look what they did to Superman. Doesn't he fucking suck now? And then obviously, being who I am, I keep on blabbering in the chat rooms how he's still the best character in the game. So now I guess that got to Fantastic, and he wants to body me at NEC just to somehow prove that Superman sucks. Because, I mean, that's the logic. If you win a Superman mirror, then he sucks.
Well, I guess the argument would be that if he beats your Superman, it would show that he knows the Superman matchup better than your comp, I guess.
But how does that prove that Superman sucks?
Yeah, that's dog shit.
I don't know.
Just because that's like Chaotic beating you in the Katana mirror and being like, yeah, I'm better or something like that. It's like it's a mirror match. Like, that doesn't prove anything. It just proves that you know the mirror better.
I mean, if Fantastic was to prove that Superman sucks, then he should not get top 8 with the character, which he hasn't done pre-patch.
Yeah, like if you end up getting like top 3, that doesn't. Then I kind of discredit that. Then if he were to beat you.
True. I think this money match is hype, but it's not the real point. The real point is the East Coast thinks your comp sucks. They don't say it, but they don't realize the implication of what. If you're saying that you only win because you're getting away with murder, then they're saying that those guys aren't good at the matchup. They're calling into question your comp. That's what they're saying. They don't. I hate the beating around the bush. So I'm glad that Fantastic finally just called you a fraud and got it over with.
No, I'm glad about it too. But my counter argument is that people seem to forget that in the Super Arcade, there's this guy named Slayer who outplaced me at EVO, who beat me in the Superman mirror at EVO. So why are people forgetting about Slayer? And actually, if people are saying that I get away with shit because I zone with Superman, well, hello, sitting right next to me at Super Arcade is a Superman that only likes to rush down. So, I mean, we have both kinds of Superman at Super Arcade, and are they calling him a fraud too, even though he plays the exact same style as KDZ does?
Sounds like it.
I mean, it sounds like they are. Yeah, I think. I agree. I mean, it's interesting because both of you have extensive training in the Superman mirror. You play Theo all the time. He plays KDZ all the time. He's beaten KDZ in the mirror.
Right.
So there's going to be no excuse here. It's hype. It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
Well, let's get a little technical. Like, why do you still think he's good? And why do they think he sucks now? Like, why do you think he's still number 1 in the game? Like, his forward 2 got nerfed. Was it not that significant? Or what's the deal?
I don't think he's number 1 in the game, period, but I think he's, like, just in the top 3 conversation with 2 other characters who I'll probably name later in my top 5, but, I mean, it all comes down to they didn't take away most of what makes Superman dog shit. Because he still has a trait that breaks armor, which pretty much stops some of the cast from being who they are. I mean, literally, on paper, it's a trait that breaks armor and makes Superman do a shit ton of damage and chip damage. And then he still has the dive punch reset, which is pretty much like Batgirl's 50-50, only this time it kills you if you guess wrong. Not, oh, it keeps on taking 30% damage, it just straight up, you're dead if you guess wrong. And I mean, his backdash is now even better. That Black Adam's backdash got nerfed. It's arguably the best in the game, next to I don't know who else. He still has an air dash, which just complements himself as a character better. He still has a straight laser, which does like 5 to 8% chip and has insane amount of recovery. I mean, just because his forward 2 got a range nerf and he doesn't have retarded corner damage now, I mean, what exactly does that harm in his matchups?
I don't know. I always thought he was still pretty good. I agree. Like, his zoning pretty much, for the most part, the core of it stayed the same. The core of his forward 2-3 pretty much stayed the same. He just can't throw it out as willy-nilly as he used to.
It's just, I feel that the problem that most people have in breaking down Superman, especially in their matchups, is they base Superman as how their character can handle his forward 2-3. For example, when Killer Frost players break down the matchup, it seems like they think Killer Frost beats him just because the post-slide guessing game is in her favor. What they don't realize is Killer Frost can't punish an air laser from full screen. She has to put up with Superman as a runaway zoning character. It's like Superman can just stay full screen, shoot air lasers, and there's nothing Killer Frost can do about it. I mean, they just think just because she can parry forward 2-3s all day, they forget that Superman's runaway game is just pretty much untouched.
Yeah, and everyone knows Killer Frost's major weakness is characters that stay in the top corner of the screen and zone.
Exactly.
Or just at least run away.
It's like, and obviously Killer Frost is going to say, oh, well, I can slide punish a blocked air laser from, like, mid-screen, but then, like I said before, Superman still has his really good backdash, his air backdash. And then any smart Superman player will just know not to play the air laser game with Killer Frost from mid-screen, just run away.
What do you think's better, like his zoning or his rushdown?
I don't really think Superman has any rushdown right now. It's just pure whiff punishing and just making good reads in the footsie game. So, in that sense, I just say his zoning game and his footsie game are both ridiculously good.
I have a question about the dive bomb thing. Can you make it unpunishable, or is it always punishable? Like,
what I did was I tried practicing against Green Lantern's his reversal Lantern's Might.
mm-hmm.
And no matter what trajectory I placed the dive bomb at, it always punished it. But then at the same time, he's still airborne on block, right. So you just have to find a really good punish with your character in that sense.
So there is that difference between, like, the Killer Frost Batgirl resets. It is punishable.
Safe.
True, it is unsafe, but I also think that kind of the human aspect comes in that you're aware that if you guess wrong in that dive bomb, you're pretty much dead. So it's like if you block it, there's like that few seconds of relief that you have that you blocked it, and then you realize, oh shit, I guessed right, now I have to punish him. And if you're just a second too late on your punish, then, I mean, you're still in the corner and you're still scared that he's going to launch you again and put you in the same situation again.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I don't know. I don't fight a Superman at you or Slayer's level, so, like, how viable is it to be punishing it? Like, would you say, your best players there, are they punishing it consistently? Do you think that's something they can improve on, or do you think it's just very, very difficult?
It's not difficult to punish if you're trained to react to it and punish it, because like I said, Lantern's Might punishes it every single time. But at the same time, Slayer, who's the actual specialist at the dive bomb, has just a trillion setups to do it off of. So it's more that you just have to memorize every single dive bomb setup that he has, and just pretty much guess right.
Is there a trick to, like, know which way to block, or is it just a guess?
in theory, I used to say that if you see him jump slightly forward, and by slightly I mean just like a millimeter forward, it's going to cross up. If he doesn't jump upwards or slightly towards you, then it's not going to cross up. But like I said, there's just so many setups that he can just make it cross up that I think it's just
That in
safe to
itself
say
would
yes,
be
no.
that in itself would be pretty hard to react to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so even if that's true, like, I mean, we're probably talking like a second of being able to react.
I was gonna say that if you see his fists aim towards your feet, then it's or like towards your torso, then it's not gonna cross up. But if his fists are aimed towards your head, then it's going to cross up. But then he has some setups where the fists are aimed towards your head, yet it doesn't cross up. And there's actually specific stages, I think, that it just never crosses up, no matter how much I try it.
And he always has the option of just doing the back one into the low grab. Once you respect that.
Or just
Yeah.
jumping in.
Yeah, he has that too.
That's 90%.
And then when he does the back one, his head kind of, his upper body has the same sort of
Mm-hmm.
animation as the dive punch. But I mean, I'm sure characters like Black Adam, one of his more like sketchy matchups, you can always just do like as a punish 1-1 trait into back 2-3 or something like that. Just as an example of a punish. I'm
Do
guessing.
you think? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you think any of Superman's matchups changed since the patch? Like, is there any character that you think he now loses to that he didn't do before?
Oh yeah, big time. I think the biggest is Batgirl. I used to think pre-patch that Superman beat Batgirl, but now it's just totally the other way. And I think that's one of the matchups where his forward 2-3 range really hurt him. Because, I mean, pre-patch, Superman didn't really have to worry about Batgirl's footsies just because his forward 2 really outranged Batgirl's low starter and her overhead.
Mm-hmm.
But now he just has to hang around in that danger zone even more in the footsie war. And it's also, the problem is that Superman just can't kill Batgirl quick enough in the corner with his retarded damage. So he just has a harder time making that comeback on Batgirl. It's like we saw KDZ versus Sonic Fox at TFC, and Sonic Fox just had a life bar and then some against KDZ. And what happened? KDZ just launched Sonic Fox in the corner. Now, if that matchup was post-patch, then history probably would have been written differently.
What about like Green Lantern?
That's probably another one where he lost his advantage with the range.
Right.
Back one probably outranges forward 2 now.
Yeah, but even pre-patch, I was talking to DJT about the matchup, or just Vegas in general, and then they even said that pre-patch Green Lantern still beat Superman in the footsie game. So then Superman still had to zone Green Lantern out anyway. But now it's kind of interesting that DJT thinks Green Lantern goes even with Superman now. Even though I just think to myself, I don't know about that because Superman's zoning game is pretty much unchanged in that matchup. Actually, what Green Lantern could do is if Superman does a ground laser in Lantern's might range, GL can always punish it with Lantern's might every single time.
Mm.
It was minus 11 pre-patch, yet DJT always punished it with Lantern's might, which was a 10-frame move. So it's kind of insane how he just reacted to that 1-frame gap of punishing it. And now post-patch, he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. He can just, okay, if he sees me do ground laser and I have no meter to make it safe, bam, I get launched into Lantern's might.
Interesting.
Yeah. But like I said before, I mean, Superman can still play the runaway game against Green Lantern. He can always just trade up, stay full screen, and hope to chip him to death, or just catch him on a whiff punish. I used to think it was 7-3 pre-patch, just because of the forward 2 being a more viable answer up close, but now that that's kind of almost null in that matchup, I just say it's 6-4 in Superman's favor.
What is it that you see that KDZ and, Fantastic, what are they not doing? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, like
what's wrong with their comp?
Like, yeah, they always blow up Superman zoning. Like, they're like, you shouldn't be losing to Superman zoning. What do you see in his zoning that they don't, potentially?
But didn't KDZ zone out Green Lantern to win Evo?
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's every Superman's wet dream to have that matchup.
To a course of
I mean, he would say that DJT didn't know the match, that it was, as
there
he
was
said,
skill gap.
Skill gap,
right.
Yeah.
But then, post patch, he's rushing Green Lantern down, even though that straight laser frame properties is still the same. And then the sort of theory in Superman keeping Green Lantern out is still the same, yet he's always rushing J. Rosa down, which is something that you clearly don't do in that matchup, or you shouldn't do in that matchup. And then, I mean, that's also why he lost to Chaotic at Summer Jam, because he pretty much broke the rule of that matchup for the Superman, in that the post-light guessing game is way in Killer Frost's favor. And then just KDZ just ran after Killer Frost. I think he thought that if he did an air laser, Killer Frost can punish it with Iceberg, even though she can't, no matter how low to the ground Superman is.
Yeah, the Iceberg only hits literally on the ground. Like, it's not like Aquaman's Trident.
And then the only time that KDZ was keeping Chaotic out, he was doing ground lasers, which he got blown up with the Iceberg for.
So, at NEC, will you be using Superman or Aquaman?
Depends on the matchup.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up? If Superman's so good, why are you going to Aquaman?
Because the matchups that Superman has trouble with, or just flat out loses to, like Batgirl, Aquaman just totally blows up those matchups. It's like, why would I have to worry about Batgirl's Vortex and being around that footsie range with her when I can just use Aquaman and have life insurance in that matchup?
Yeah, that's right.
Why have you been using only Aquaman at Wednesday Night Fights lately? Just to level him up?
It's more to level him up, and like in case I get counterpicked in tournament, when I'm using Aquaman, I won't freak out because I just know him better as a character.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, that Fantastic pointed that you're not even using Superman anymore. Well, locals are where you would learn your new character. I mean, it makes sense that you'd be using your alt more at these tournaments.
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to prove with Superman at Wednesday Night Fights anymore. Like, I think you've pretty much established you can win Wednesday Night Fights with Superman. I think after the 20th you won, we kind of got that message.
But to be fair, though, post-patch, when I just only used Superman, I got second at Wednesday Night Fights. I didn't win with Superman post-patch.
But you feel that you could win with all Superman, I presume?
I probably could.
Is it easier with Aquaman, though?
Like I said, it depends on the matchup. I mean, if you hear the Nightwing community, they always cry about the Superman matchup, but then they feel really confident about the Aquaman matchup. Or I mean, if you're the Aquaman community, they always cry about the Grundy matchup. Or I mean, Grundy players feeling confident in that matchup. So it just pretty much all depends on who I have to fight that day.
Okay. Is Slayer going to NEC?
He's on the roster for the NEC team tournament, so I'm assuming he is.
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty much, besides Tyrant, he's pretty much like our biggest asset at NEC.
let's talk about some other characters. So you brought up Nightwing. West Coast has like 30 Nightwing players. What do you think of Nightwing?
I don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
I think he could be really good. I just don't think he's being represented at the highest level at the moment.
What are your local Nightwing players doing wrong? What do you think they should be like? What are the issues that they could be working on? Because I find that very interesting. Like, it seems like this is just, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but it seems like the Nightwing community is obsessed with like the minutia, the tech. Hey, we got this new tech. This is this really arcane setup that beats this one scenario, and they're not focused on the fundamental problems that they have. That's my take on it. What do you think? Like, what?
I feel like Dave keep on bringing up zoning and a very lame playstyle, but I feel like Nightwing players really underestimate how good this character is as a turtle character. I feel that he can hang with Black Adam in the turtling and zoning war. I feel like he can hang with Green Lantern in the turtling war. I feel like on a life lead he can just outzone Superman in staff mode. But that's emphasis on if he gets the life lead. It's like sometimes when I play Steve or Sajam or whatever his tag is that day, it's like sometimes I'm keeping him out and then he just does the Eskrima projectile, and I just think to myself, why are you doing that on me? Like, I'm gonna whiff punish it with a air laser every single time. Or why are you trying to throw wingdings at me? I mean, my laser outranges the crap out of that. But sometimes, like when Nightwing players go into staff mode, and then I do just a raw air laser, they can punish it with the ground blast. Or if they see me do an air laser, they can just neutral jump it and punish me on the way down with the ground blast. If they see me do a ground laser or a straight laser, they can just read that and do a ground blast. And if they're lucky, they might be in the range where they can back 3 off it, or at least Flying Grayson off it. I just don't think Nightwing players have experimented with the lame aspect of this character.
It's funny because I think the opposite. I think they're like obsessed with like his chip damage business. Like, I don't understand, and I think I said this on the Wound interview. Like, when he does a meter burns staff spin, why not just do a 50-50? Like, they're obsessed with doing like the forward one, and to whatever. It's like, why not just do staining 2 or the meter burn low spark thing? Like, that's a 50-50, and they have to guess. Like, why would you mess around with like the silly stuff? Like, even if they, why mess around? Why mess around in Clown Town when you have your 50-50? Eris said it, like 50-50 town, like it's the best town to be in. Like, everyone wants to be a citizen in 50-50 town. So why won't you take your 50-50? It's like the same as the Killer Frost, like in the early Killer Frost days. Like, oh, this trait pressure, just 3 trait. It's just like, okay, that's not doing anything. Just go cut to the 50-50 already.
Yeah, I remember when I played her, I constantly had to be saying, guys, 50-50. Like, that's what I kind of mean by these Nightwing players. They're like, oh, look at these frame traps. Like, no one gives a fuck about the frame traps in this game. Like, I think a lot of people are still stuck in MK9.
That, and like his flying, like, he is super scary when he gets close in staff. Like, when he gets close, it's like, oh, jump 2's coming. I don't want to deal with that because, I mean, there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. And then he just jumped 2 into down 1, cancels, and the meter burn staff spin. Okay, now you got to guess. 50-50 town now.
I just don't think the Nightwing community has their zoning Nightwing yet.
And there's that. Like, I agree with you on that too. Like, that low spark thing is annoying.
I think the low spark can work well in some matchups that Nightwing players probably think it'll be crap in. Like, and I think K7 can probably elaborate on this. since Cyborg's Air Nova Blast is a high now, can't just Nightwing be really smart and selective on where he places his ground blasts against Cyborg?
He can.
And potentially hang with him in the zoning war? I mean, that's why Superman, in theory, beats Cyborg.
I don't know about that. I think Cyborg rapes him. It's just the meter burn Nova Blast. You set that up and you can get momentum going. You can throw out, his target acquired and stuff, and you just can't keep up.
I think another thing with Nightwing, like as far as his zoning, when he has meter, and they do that ground spark, like they almost always meter burn it, and it's like almost expected. But you have to realize, like, you have to respect that meter burn one. Like, you can't touch anything. So that allows them to just do a non meter burn, just a normal one. And then you're like, oh shit, he didn't do the meter burn. And then he's doing another one. It's like, ah shit, is he doing the meter burn this time? Nope. And he just kind of keeps doing. And then let's say you guessed right, and you did block the meter burn one. Well, you got to block another one now. And if he has another bar of meter, it's like, is he gonna do another meter burn one or not? Like, that alone is annoying as fuck.
It is annoying.
Or, oh shit, he flying Graysoned in, and I guessed wrong. I thought he was going to ground blast again.
Yeah, and he could do... Yeah, that's another thing. Like, he does a ground spark, and then it's like you're sitting there waiting for the second one, or he does the meter burn one, and you got to respect the next one. He could just do a couple dashes in, and then you're like, oh shit, and then like your tendency is either like jump back or backdash, which he can pretty much just flying Grayson, especially a jump back, you can just flying Grayson on reaction. And then if they don't run away, he just does jump 2, and now you're in 50-50 town.
And doesn't he have
I don't see why
jump 3?
What's that?
And doesn't he have a 7-frame jump 3?
Probably. I mean, shit.
That's stupid. That means you can't trade with him because you'll just get jump 3 wing dinged all day.
Oh yeah, his jump in Eskrima. That's another thing. Like, let's say he does get outzoned in staff. Okay, I get it. So just go into Eskrima, close the gap, get in range to do like a back 2 or something, or a down, like just hit him with anything, and then cancel into staff, and now you're in. Like, do back 2 into that flip thing that's super annoying. They'll start respecting that because you just got to block it. And then once they start respecting back 2 into the flip kick, then to start doing back 2 into the staff stance, cancel that, and then cancel into meter burn staff spin, and you're in 50-50 town. Like, what the hell's wrong with this character?
I know, like, I think in theory, if Nightwing gets a life lead on anybody, he can just turtle them out in staff wing mode.
Zoning is underrated, I agree.
I think what a lot of them say is that he gets outzoned, like by the top tiers. Like he can't keep up. Like
as soon as the match starts, and Superman gets the first hit in the zoning war, yeah, Nightwing's fucked. But if Nightwing gets like a really good life lead on him, like I'd say just 50% to a life bar on Superman, then Superman's fucked. He's not gonna sit back and just laser safe ground blast staff wing all day. He's gonna have to get in, and if he tries to get in on staff wing, he's gonna get back one all day. That really stupid normal Nightwing has where he just sticks his staff out at you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot about that move.
I mean, like, just like I think Slip said it, what's wrong with him? What is his fundamental problem?
I just have one question. Can you see his 50-50? Can you block standing 2 on reaction? Because Wound claimed he could.
Standing 2?
Yeah, the overhead.
Oh, you mean back? Yeah, back 2.
Oh, it's back 2. My bad.
Yeah.
But it's more that he doesn't have any scary lows in Eskrima mode. So you're just
Eskrima's more about blocking left to right. Is he going to do that flip kick, or is he going to stay on that side of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about overhead low in Eskrima.
His only low is that meter burn ground pound thing.
Yeah, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Eskrima. Yeah, that thing's whatever.
But then when he goes into staff mode to cancel into a ground pound, I think like that sound of him clicking his staffs together is like a sound cue to block low.
I don't think there's actually a sound cue until he actually hits with the move.
I don't know. I think there's a clink when he changes stance.
Yeah, there's a clink when you change.
Well, that's why you change and then you go into Meterburn's stat spin, and then you gotta guess.
He's still like plus a million off of Meterburn's staff spin, and I haven't seen a Nightwing do like a really scary mix-up afterwards.
Yeah, they're always doing this forward one.
They're about pressure.
Piddly shit.
They rely on pressure.
I get like doing that in the corner. That's cool. Like he can get a buttload of chip in the corner. Like that I get. Like that's stupid. But I mean, when you're mid-screen, you're in 50-50 town. Be a citizen, man. Go vote. Vote for your mayor. Vote low or vote overhead.
Why are you so obsessed with this 50-50?
Yeah, you trying to get that over?
You're really trying to get that over.
Eris is the one that said that. He said that on, I forget which. He said it on Avoiding the Puddle a long time
now
ago.
You have to just spam it?
Am I saying it too much?
You've said it,
you said it
more than I said shitter last week.
Yeah.
And then Nightwing's staff stance back 3 goes like half screen.
Oh yeah, that too.
I liked Clown Town.
Shout outs to Ray.
Yeah. Clown Town.
Alright, what about another character West Coast is infamous for? Solomon Grundy. Born on a Monday.
Oh
is he
my
top 5?
god, that
Born on a
character's
Grundy.
so stupid.
Uh-oh.
Fuck. He is like the greatest grappler in fighting game history.
He is good.
And I think East Coast players that put him in their bottom 5 are just, oh my god, you guys are retarded.
Yeah, but doesn't Superman blow him up? Come on, that's right.
Pre-patch, yeah. Post-patch, it's 6'4" Superman. And it's
6'4".
It's like Cabal versus Cyrax, 6'4", 7'3", where once he's in there, and you push a wrong button, you're dead.
I don't know. You play Superman, you can't complain about damage.
Against
allowed.
Grundy, I can complain about
You are
damage.
not allowed to complain about damage.
When Grundy gets his health trade out, and I can complain about his damage. I mean, essentially, Solomon Grundy is like this. Hey, I have Cyrax's damage, but imagine if Cyrax got you in his reset, took your life, and then said, hey, now you can't do a comeback on me, because I have my health trait or my chip trait out, so good luck getting that life lead back. And unlike Cyrax, he has a buttload of armor on like every one of his moves, which just blows up the footsie game. It's like I see Solomon Grundy players cry that some moves whiff on Walking Corpse.
Right.
But just cry me a river. You have a move which has 4 hits of armor that costs no meter. You land it, meter burn it, I'm in an inescapable vortex where if I guess wrong, it's my life. At the same time, you can cancel it and still launch me into a full combo. So there's no way I can guess right on that. Well, I can guess right, but there's no way I can... There's no option select against that. And then you still have the audacity to complain that some moves whiff on it?
Yeah, but it whiffs, you're fucked.
You can just cancel. If you read that they're doing a move that's susceptible to Walking Corpse whiffing, just cancel. Just cancel into like a meter burn cleaver or something. And then they're fucked.
I don't know, then you gotta know every move that it whiffs on.
Well, I mean, that's matchup knowledge. That's not a good case.
Like, you think it's gonna hit, and then it whiffs, it sucks.
So you think that Grundy is the superior grappler to Bane? Because both characters have been making noise lately.
I think Bane's really good too.
Okay.
But he also seems really... He seems really one-dimensional in the sense that he just relies on mashing those Venom moves. It's like he relies a lot on just mashing those armored moves. I just feel that Grundy just has so much more dimensions than Bane. It's like, for example, Grundy is just retardedly good at sitting on a life lead and just making the other character come to him. Whereas I think Bane just has to get in all the time. Because, like, Bane versus Superman, even if Bane has, like, a full bar of life against Superman, he still has to get in and close it out. Otherwise, Superman is just going to chip him to death. With Grundy, that's not the case. If Grundy has a life lead on Superman, and, God forbid, has the chip trade out, I always have to close the gap on him.
Tyrant's going to NEC?
Yeah, he is.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
That is
that's super interesting.
Who would win, Darth Arma or Tyrant?
Bane Grundy?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Armor versus armor.
I think Bane beats Grundy.
Does he?
I'm not sure. But
He probably does at level 3 because he breaks all armor.
Yeah,
That's
but
for sure.
then if Bane, let's say Bane is in recovery mode, that means Grundy can just get in and Bane has to just guess on whatever Grundy does. And if Bane guesses wrong in level 3 withdrawal, then GG.
So how good do you really think Grundy is? Like, are we talking, like, Wonder Chef, we had your West Coast compatriot on here, and he legitimately thinks Grundy may be top 5. And I know you said that, but are you trolling, or do you really think he's in that conversation?
Let me just present what Grundy has. Like, I'll just make like a presentation.
Okay.
He has meter burn ground swamp hands, which means, like, let's say Superman. Superman can't do straight laser into straight laser, the generic Superman zoning game plan. Because if Grundy sees the startup of the laser, he'll just swamp hands and bam, you're dead. So he has that, which probably works him wonders in a lot of matchups. Like I said before, he has a command grab that goes half screen, 4 hits of armor, you can cancel it, kill your opponent, you land it, inescapable vortex. He has the meter burn cleaver, which pretty much prevents an opponent of jumping out. Like, they try to make a read on Grundy and do like a jump back 2 or just jump over him, the cleaver's always going to catch them. He has a 5-frame anti-air grab, which means you can't jump into him, period. It's like more reliable than Aquaman's down 2. There's so many ways for him to cancel into a command grab off his normals, which like defies the logic of a grappler character. He has his meter burn trait grab, which is just the icing on the cake. His forward dash is really good. His chip trait means you can't do anything to him when he has a chip trait out. You can't make a comeback on him. When he has his health trait out, that's just, I don't know. I hate him.
How can you hate a guy that's so lovable, man?
he's awesome, man.
Yeah, like, I always feel bad for him because he's not really evil. Like, he doesn't do anything. He's just working for Superman because he's doing what he's told. He's not capable of, like, rational thought. I mean, the dude's basically like a giant dog.
Okay, dude, Tyrant has cost like hundreds of dollars of me losing to him in grand finals. Do you think I care about?
I'm just saying, the dude's a zombie.
Do you think I care that he's a zombie if he cost me like gas money?
You've won plenty of those tournaments. Can you feel a little sympathy for the undead?
Okay. Me getting first place at Wednesday Night Fights with pre-patch Superman was like, bam, look, the patch didn't help. And which character stopped me from taking it home? Fucking Solomon Grundy.
I'm just saying, maybe have a little bit of sympathy for a guy who's in over his head on all this shit. I mean, he doesn't mean to do harm, but
Yeah.
like in the story mode, he just does what he's told. Like,
Yeah, and then he gets tossed into space.
yeah, that was horrible. He's so cavalier. Green Lantern's so cavalier about it. He's like, he's a zombie. He'll be fine. Can you imagine him floating in space, just going, Solomon Grundy?
But he's a zombie. He doesn't even know what's going on.
That's what I'm
That's
saying. The guy who's
Where am I?
That's
Yeah,
like
where's
feeling bad for mentally challenged kids. They probably are happy with their lives.
but that's the point.
Jesus.
If
Wow.
a kid that's mentally challenged, you're not going to throw him out into space and be like, he'll be fine.
But you think you know what's going on?
That's true. You're not.
I was reading Batman. I've been reading Batman graphic novels lately. Like, I'm on a Batman graphic novel kick. I've been reading everything that's considered a classic that I hadn't read before, and one of them was The Long Halloween, which was absolutely tremendous.
That's a good one.
I
I've
loved
read
it.
that. Yeah.
And I actually just finished the sequel, Dark Victory, last night, which I liked even more. So if you've read Long Halloween and haven't read Dark Victory, check that out.
Yeah, I
But
haven't heard of it.
do you remember the Grundy scenes in Long Halloween?
Partially.
Like he's living in the sewers just going, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. And like, Batman goes down there and he's like, I don't want to fight you, Grundy. I have no beef with you. And then they show on Thanksgiving, Batman drops like a turkey leg down to him. It's fucking tight! Like, literally, like, Alfred makes him
Felt
dinner.
pity.
Yeah, and he throws down a big turkey leg, and it shows Grundy be like, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Like, he appreciates it. It's awesome.
Theo, would you give Tyron a turkey leg?
Yeah.
I have offered Tyrant a lot of my tacos from
Let's-
Taco Bell, so indirectly, yes.
Does Tom Lowell's Brady like Grundy, or is he upset that Tyrant's not playing like Cyborg?
I think
I haven't heard from Tom Lowell's Brady since like forever, so I don't know.
He was in the GG Street.
he's around. Yeah, he's around.
I marked out when I saw that. I saw, like, I hope it was the real him, because I'm a huge fan of his.
It was him.
So
Actually,
that's-
to support the mentally challenged people, like, wouldn't you get pissed off if a mentally challenged person kicked your ass?
He's
I
not
mean,
mentally
that's
challenged. He's a zombie.
He's just dumb.
No, I mean, but I know what you mean. Whenever I lose to Tommy, that's how I feel.
Damn.
So exactly, you can't feel sympathy if they're not talking about Tommy, but you can't feel sympathy if they're dumb. You're just like,
That's
I lost
like
to-
that's how nature equals out. If you're dumb, you're like super strong physically.
Am I now the only one picturing Tommy in space going, guys,
I'm a shitter.
how can we get out of this? Alright, let's talk about, alright, anyway, oh, sorry, go on.
I was just saying, what's wrong with Grundy?
I don't know, I'm asking, I have no idea, I don't play.
People say like
well, I
when they
think the
just
biggest
run
thing
away.
they complain about is just people jumping back.
Yeah, people just run away. It's hard to get in on them.
But can't you just read a jump back with swamp hands? I mean, it's worth the guess.
Probably.
They're not with punishing it.
The
Let's
hardest
talk about, sorry, go on.
the hardest thing they say is people that just run away and you can never do anything to.
But that's the thing about Grundy is when you catch them, the reward is so damn high.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go on.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean
talk
that's
about-
kind of that's
Let's all interrupt each other.
Okay.
yeah. I mean that's how any grappler is in any game. If they get in once, it could be it.
What if Grundy had an air laser?
Grundy?
He has something just as stupid, Meterburn swamp hands.
He needs air swamp hands.
Like they come out of the fucking ceiling?
They come out of the sky, yeah.
Dude, people say that, like, Superman Grundy is 9-1, but like I said, if he sees you start up an air laser, bam, I mean not an air laser, ground laser, bam, you're in, like, take your life town. So it's like if I keep doing air laser, he's just gonna dash in.
Alright, one last thing about Grundy. Can we all acknowledge that Swamp Hands, that sound effect is tight when it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
coming out? That's cool.
That's awesome.
Alright, so let's talk about another character that the West Coast talks about all the time. Selena Kyle, Catwoman. You guys are well known for your Catwoman up playing.
I think
What do
she
you
sucks.
think about her?
I
Really?
think yeah.
You think she sucks?
Okay, she doesn't suck, but I mean, Chef made this brilliant quote when Tom made that thread, "Stop thinking Shazam is bad."
Mhm.
He said, okay, but compared to Superman and Black Adam, Shazam might as well be a potato.
Do you have any idea how happy I am right now?
Oh
I
my
want
God.
K7, I want you to give me an MP3 of Theo just saying, I think she sucks.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that on my phone and just play that at GGA on a loop. I'm so happy
Do it.
right now. I'm
like,
so
okay.
glad Carl no-showed so we can hear this.
Okay,
Please tell us about this.
Let me just go on. So, it's like, yeah, she has 50-50s. Woohoo, just like all the other top tiers. Okay, she has a stupid jump too. Woohoo, like Aquaman and Batman. But then, that's it. It's like, sell me Catwoman. What makes her so top 3 that Wonder Chef says? You play the character, so.
No, I agree with you. I don't think she sucks, but I think she has like a pretty decent tools for every situation. But that means you have a matchup chart that's a bunch of losing matchups and some even matchups, which makes her, in this game, probably just kind of decent.
I mean,
since the beginning, when you guys were like, holy shit, God, jump 2, God, she's top 5, I was sitting there like, what?
It's like, how does Aquaman deal with jump 2? Just walk back. It's so simple. Just walk back against jump 2. If she wants to take you to 50-50 down, I have a O button. Or a 4 button.
O button.
Yeah,
O
I'm
button.
with PS3.
Yeah, I agree. I think typical zoning doesn't actually bother her. Like, projectile zoning, the scariest thing to me when I'm playing is someone holding back. Like, you get it. That's why, in my opinion, Aquaman's an extremely difficult match. Aquaman just holding back is an absolute nightmare for her. I still, other than hope I get lucky with, like, a low whip or something like that, I'm still not sure what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing about Aquaman just holding back.
But then same thing with Superman. It's like, if you see me and Crazy play sometimes on stream, like, I'll just keep spamming laser when I'm in trait mode, and he'll just always cat evade it. But then there's going to be sometimes where I dash forward, he thinks that I'm just going to straight up go in, and then I just do a laser. Just to sort of break his momentum. It's like, if Superman is really unpredictable in that zoning and turtling game, then that's going to mess Catwoman up, in my opinion. And that's like another one of Superman's matchups where if you just decide to just go in on a Catwoman, that's a losing battle. She'll just jump to you to death.
Why do you think Crazy thinks she's so good then? That's what baffles me, is like, he does pretty decent at Wednesday night fights. You know, he'll get 5th. He's been in grand finals before, but he doesn't really win it. I wouldn't say he's like one of your top 3 players. And I'm not critical of I watch him play and I think he's a good player, but he is convinced that like she beats Superman. I don't understand. Like, what do you think his mentality is?
To Crazy's credit, he's beaten some really good players before. Like
he's beaten like all of the good players.
When MIT came to Wednesday Night Fights, he beat me. But then the next Wednesday Night Fight, Crazy beat MIT, which was pretty crazy. And I mean, Crazy has had a really good record versus Godspeed, versus Slayer, versus Tyrant, versus me. I mean, he's always a really big threat in our brackets. So I can't take that away from him. But at the same time, he has a really strange matchup chart.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
it seems like he thinks Catwoman virtually loses to everybody except Superman and Aquaman.
It's he thinks
it's like
she loses to Nightwing.
I can literally verbatim tell you. It's like, let's say I'm going down the roster. Bad matchup. Oh, Superman, that's a good matchup. Bad. Oh, Aquaman, that's a good matchup. And that's it.
Yeah,
and Cyborg, but then who cares about Cyborg?
That's racist, man.
Wow.
K7, do you get emo when everyone says they don't care about Cyborg?
Yeah. Dude, our forum sucks. We got like 3 people in there.
Like, yeah, I don't understand. Like, he thinks she loses to Nightwing, which I don't know. I could see that. That's fine. But then he thinks, like, Aquaman is even, and it's baffling. Like, how can
there is no way in hell, and there's no way on, like, any reality in any universe that she beats Cat. She goes even with Aquaman.
I want to see it. Like, Tom's going to be here next. I have played Aquaman a ton. Tom's going to be here next week, and I'm going to try with an open mind. I'm going to play him all week. I'm going to grind out with him, and I'll see what happens. I'll do everything he's posted. I will try everything, but I don't see it. And if If he can prove that, I'll be extremely impressed. If he starts consistently beating top Aquaman players, I will have so much props for him, but I don't see it right now.
But he can do it. Crazy can totally do it, and he's proven that he can prevail in the Black Adam matchup because he's had a really positive record with all the best Black Adams.
On Black Adam, I don't think is that bad of a match. Like, Aquaman, though.
But on paper, it seems like a bad match for Catwoman, in my opinion.
It's probably like a negative match, but it's not like I think Aquaman just blows her up. Like, he outfoots her badly. Like, the trait is a huge problem. I think her only saving grace is how she can really fuck him up on a knockdown, which is like Aquaman's big weakness.
Yeah, a lot of characters can do that. But I mean, a smart Aquaman player won't let Catwoman knock him down.
But I guess we agree there, so that's fine. What's another character?
Superman? I mean, talking about...
yeah, what's another character that West Coast has a lot of experience with? I'm trying to think.
Doomsday?
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's talk about Doomy.
Doomy.
I mean, I think he bodies a lot of characters that I wish my characters bodied. Like, let's say Raven. I heard Doomsday just blows up Raven.
Yeah.
It seems like Doomsday blows up a lot of zoning dependent or runaway dependent characters. Like Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Doomsdays mix up Earthshaker a lot. Like, I never see Doomsdays do like 1-2 Earthshaker, like, I don't know, 3-2-1 Earthshaker. Like, I don't see them mix that up within their strings, which can throw a lot of people off. I think people are so used to blocking down one Earthshaker that they need to find a new way to just sneak that special move in there. It's like...
Slips.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. It seems like the Doomsday players are very flowchart right now.
Yeah, very.
It's just EX shoulder, down one earth shake, or EX shoulder, dash forward, down one earth shake. It's body splash, down one earth shake. It's like, man, you got more than that. Like, you've got a bunch of strings and shit that you
it's
could
like
use.
2 weeks ago, I fought Sonic Boom Brad in Winter Semis, and I used Aquaman. And I barely won by the last pixel, because I kept on backdashing after Venom charged. The next Wednesday night fights, I fought him again in Winter Semis. And I beat him like fairly convincingly, but that's because I kept on reading that he was going to do forward dash after Venom charge. And I kept on launching him into a full combo like a couple of times. And that just costed him that entire set. So I think there's a lot more with that character that people or Doomsday players are just not abusing.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think, and this is something I've been saying, is like, I think the Doomsday players are obsessed with the post-meter burn Venom, and in time I think people will be able to handle that guessing game a lot better. Like, if he guesses right, he's going to get like 13% at worst. Like, if you just pick your spots on when to mash and when to backdash. I mean, there's so many variables. There's so many variables after that. Like that, he's got to worry about backdash. He's got to worry about people mashing, like you just mentioned. He's got to worry about people jumping out. Like, and for each one of those options, he's got to do something drastically different. The only one that's safe is just doing the down one earth shake. And there's too many ways out of that. Like, it's jumping back or backdash. And then just blocking it straight up. Yeah. Like, there's too many options. Like, it's like a 3 to 4 way guess to get out of down one earth shake. And he's got to do something super risky to blow them up for one of those 3 options. So, like, it's, to me, like, I've said this before, it's more about hitting with that shoulder than guessing right after it's blocked. Like, the more you rely on the more people are able to deal with that guessing game after they block a meter burn shoulder, the worse it's going to get for Doomsdays, and they're going to have to find something else.
I feel like the Doomsday community now is like the Jax community in the beginning of MK, where they just relied on 4-4-1-3 just all day. But then just as MK evolved, then the Jax community just totally reinvented their character.
Yeah.
I think Doomsday is gonna meet that same fate.
What do you think of like that talking point that everyone's going to learn his tricks and he's going to fall down the tier list?
I doubt that. I think if PL sticks with him, he'll still do some work with him.
Yeah, like there's definitely things you can't at the right spacing. You cannot tell the difference between his dash and his shoulder.
No way. No, you can't.
Right.
That's where his guessing Doomsdays are obsessed with getting really close and doing like a down one like Earthshake or down one throw. But
and that's another thing. It's like one thing that Brad kind of learned is it's like Rico Suave is really good at spacing out his down one into Palpatine hands, and then Brad picked up that same strategy with Doomsday, spacing out his down one into Earthshaker. It's like he sees you coming in and he just does down one on you.
Yeah.
And that just makes Doomsday a really, really good footsie character.
Yes, I'm super high on his down one in footsies.
It's it's got to be the longest reaching down one in the game, I think.
More than Hawk Girls?
Maybe not Hawk Girls. I don't know. But the fact it hits so high up too, like it's a big ass arm. It's hard to kind of jump away from too. Oh, can we talk about his down two? His down two is stupid. I hate that move. His down two is like unpunishable, and it's like his second fastest normal besides down one. Like it got buffed really well.
Dude, one thing Newbie was doing on me is he did on the right side of Wayne Manor, he'd land a meter burn venom on me and just combo with the down two afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is pretty stupid.
It's annoying. Like one of the things I see is like when I'm pretty sure that a Doomsday is gonna jump, like or a dash, like I'll jump back. I'd be like, well, I just want to avoid this down one or whatever, and then like dash and then it down to me, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I think I can punish it, and it's like no, and I'm so worried about down one Earthshake that dude, Newbie Sauce does this to me. He'll do down two. And I'm like, wait, that's not down one Earthshake. And then he'll mash down one Earthshake after it. And I'm like, God, what the hell is this? So, his down two is really... In fact, after a meter burn shoulder, he can do a down two for free. And you can't do shit about it.
And his meter burn shoulder launches on some corners.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think most Doomsday players haven't really looked into his wall bounce combos yet. I think that like Doomsday's overhead starter into a wall bounce is going to be pretty intimidating as the game evolves.
Yeah.
It's like they keep harping that he doesn't have really good damage output, but at the same time, that's what background bounces are for.
Yeah. His down two's unpunishable. What a dumb move. It's like -5.
I don't mind that just because Killer Frost's down two is unpunishable as well.
Yeah, that's dumb too. Oh, what I was gonna say is Doomsdays are obsessed with getting like super close. Like there's like this spot where Doomsdays feel uncomfortable. It's like right where their down one isn't in range. The only way they can get in is to jump, and people with a good down two, they can't jump, so they're just like, so they just throw out a shoulder, and they're forced to meter burn it because it was their only option. And like I said, people will be able to deal with that guessing game after, soon if they haven't already. But a lot of it is this game isn't about necessarily getting as close as you possibly can. It's about getting to the space that your character wins.
Yeah, exactly.
The space that Doomsday wins is that max distance shoulder mixed up with the dash. Like that's where he wins. That's when he's at that range, and you're like, shit, I don't want to move because if he does that shoulder, I'm gonna get fucked. And then once they start respecting that, then he just dashes up and he just dashes up throw or dash up sweep or dash up Earthshake, dash up down one into some craziness.
Yeah,
Like that's
also
where
Doomsdays aren't
Doomsday
grabby.
wins.
Yeah, Doomsdays also aren't grabby enough. That's one thing. Like, why don't they do down one grab more?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's not necessarily getting as close as you can. It's about getting to the space where you win. Something I'm kind of trying to experiment with Scorpion is like, I'll be playing 16-bit and he'll just be sitting there ducking like an asshole. He'll just be sitting there ducking. I know what he's doing. He's just looking for me to jump or looking for me to dash so he can mash down 2. Like this is stupid, or mash down 1 or something. Like this is stupid. I can't do anything. It's like my only option is to do a stupid Hellfire, and if he reads that, I lose like 40%. And if I guess right, I get 6%, and I lose a frame. It's stupid. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna. This Hellfire business isn't in my favor, so I might as well try something. And so I'm kind of still experimenting with it. Like you can dash forward. They see that you dash forward, so they'll mash like a down 2 or a down 1. And then you can backdash, and your invincibility will cover for that. And they just whiffed, and now I'm kind of in my sweet spot of, my back 2's now in range. I can still jump if I want to. So it's, most of the time I'll just dash up and block. But I mean, if he does down 1 cat claw, like doesn't do anything for me. But like doing something like that, like I'm kind of like, it's, like I said, it's more about trying to get to that range. However means you got to get there. Get to the range where your character wins. Not necessarily I'm going to get point blank and blow them up. Like some characters, that's where they win, like Flash and shit. But think about where your character wins and how you got to get to that space.
Flash can go die in a fire. I hate him.
He's pretty dumb.
He's retarded.
He's a scary tournament player. It's just like one mistake costs you over half your life. It's like one mental lapse is like, oh shit, and half your life's gone.
More than half, man. If he gets a ground pound combo, it's like 63%.
Yeah. If like a good Flash player will, down 1-2 in the ground pound for a punish, or back 2-2 in a ground pound for a punish. Once they start punishing with that meter burn ground pound trait cancel, that's gonna be rough if any of them get good enough with him.
Why do you think people aren't playing him very much?
I think he's just hard to play with. He's one of those characters where there's like, he's got it like his best is where he needs to get point blank range. And that takes a lot of work. You gotta know you're...
Yeah, but then I was going to say, like Solomon Grundy, it's like once you get that read, it's over.
Yeah, he's like Grundy in that, so to speak.
Do you think like the tier list is going to greatly change like as the game grows on?
I think the top 5 probably going to stay.
I was going to say that.
Like, I think the gap will get smaller and smaller the more people learn their characters. But I think the top 5, like the reason they're the top 5 is like they're really, really good, and there's not a lot, like they don't have to learn like their matchups intricately like the other characters.
I think it's more akin to the fact that every character in this game, or like 99% of them, have something that it's just stupid. Yeah. Like Joker can literally get you on the ground and kill you. His teeth setups can literally take your entire life if executed properly. So that in itself should make him a top tier character, but then at the same time, everything else about him is pretty shitty. It's like he has no way of opening you up. His gunshots recovery is pretty bad. But then, like I said, it's like, or Raven, it's like she has ridiculous tools, she has retarded zoning, but at the same time she has some problems. Her normals aren't as good as the top tiers, or her mobility isn't as good as the top tiers.
Have you played Blind Decky?
I played him twice in tournament, and then back then we played online a lot, but not recently.
He's constantly saying, like, Raven's really fucking good.
She is really fucking good, but at the same time, she still has some minor issues.
Yeah.
Whereas that one green motherfucker has no minor issues.
Who, Martian
Green
Manhunter?
motherfucker.
Martian Manhunter.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty fucking dumb.
He's
He's pretty good.
really good.
Yeah.
No, literally, what's wrong with that character?
Well, they say his low is punishable, you know.
Cry me a river.
That teleport.
I think I'm more biased because online the low isn't punishable at all.
Yeah,
It's like
that's true.
It's like Reptile's Dash in MK9.
It's so annoying.
And then you can't like, I don't know if it's a 50-50 or you can react to it, but online you can't just like react and walk forward against the overhead teleport.
Yeah, you gotta read it like a meter burn back through you. It sucks.
Yeah, then can't the regular teleport just screw up your timing on the meter burn back 3?
Probably can. I don't know.
I don't think so. It should take care of both.
If you just hold
Like, even
it,
if you end up just blocking it, I think you get a back 3 for free. Like, he's minus like 1 million.
on the non-overhead one.
Yeah. Like, he's just screwed.
What do you think about Deathstroke? Where do you have him on the tier list?
I think he's definitely in the top 10 conversation, like 10 or 11, somewhere around there. I agree with what Slip said last week or 2 weeks ago on the show that Deathstroke doesn't really have a matchup where it's just shitty for him. I just think Dave is really salty that he can't just zone out Flash and just thinks, oh, lightning charge, therefore 2-8 matchup. But just people forget that Deathstroke still has 50-50 town. He still has ridiculously good wall bounce damage. He still has a projectile that pretty much makes you respect him at like any part of the screen. So, what's the problem?
I mean, even I acknowledge his zoning is... It's just very whatever now. Like, they're good. Like, you might get a couple shots, but then they're gonna get in. Like, there's no question. But he's got some of the better footsie tools in the game.
And jump 3 is still pretty stupid.
Jump 3 is good. I've been over it so many times. Like, I don't even know why. His forward 3 is really good. I know he thinks it's crap, whatever. Low guns are good. Dash up down 1 is good. Dash up back 2 is good. There's no problem. I don't even, like, there's no characters. The only characters where I fear, like, is, like, their footsies are definitely better is, like, I mean, Frost, Green Lantern, back 1. I know Superman I did. I don't even know anymore. I might not fear it as much. And that was about it. Those are, like, the only characters where I was like, fuck. I was like, this sucks. Like, not even Aquaman. I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, like even Superman, now you're just not worried about the forward 2-3. You're just worried about him walking you into the corner.
Yeah, like, there's no... If I can play footsies with almost anyone, then I'm fine. He's got good wake-ups, too. Like, he gets a like, I know he doesn't do a lot of damage, but he gets a combo. I mean, he's gonna do 30% roughly, and then he's gonna be on top of you again. And he can keep it going. You know,
and he can harass characters with bad wake-ups, too.
Yeah. Forward 3 is really good for a lot of characters. In the corner, he does a lot of damage, too. He does, like, back 1-3 does, like, 39, like, 40% with 1 bar. His back 2-2 meter burn does, like, I don't know, like, almost, like, 35% 1 bar, which is, I guess, is okay. But, I mean, he hits a forward 3 in the corner. That's, like, 40%.
How's Deathstroke versus Batgirl?
When he hits with a jump 3 in the corner, he does 47%.
That's 47%.
Man. Batgirl,
Doesn't
I don't know.
backbreak
It's probably
match-
in her favor, but just because if she guesses right in the footsies, then she gets a stupid ass vortex.
But doesn't
I
she
mean-
kind of have to play his game that she can't like react to guns?
Yeah, I mean she can't react. No.
Because it feels like she just has to kind of get in that sweet spot, just like any other character. She just has the threat of a teleport.
Yeah,
Which I-
but if she lands it though, it could be peace. She's so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then like I think Ford 3 should be able to handle her back 1 pretty well. She'll have to respect that. It's just if she guesses right. I mean, you could lose your whole bar. It's just dumb. So I mean, I'd give it to her. But I don't think like he gets blown up by her footsies or anything like that. Like, I mean, she'll get in and she'll have to deal with Ford 3 and low guns like anyone else. She'll have to deal with him dashing up and doing stuff. She'll definitely have to deal with his jump 3. His jump 1's really good too. It's got a hell of priority. He gets a 50-50 off his jump 1.
You mean if like jump 2 crosses up, jump 1 doesn't cross up like that?
No, I mean just this on block. Like he just jump 1 and then jail it in the down 1.
Oh, that's... Damn, it has that much block advantage? It's crazy.
I mean it cancels. Yeah, I mean Flash can do the same thing. It's like whenever you hit with a jump 1, you have very little advantage, but since you're going straight to your fastest move, you're pretty much
Right.
always going to win.
Right.
Flash does the same thing. He just does, he just glides in with jump 1 and then you're in your 50-50 because he can just jail it and do a down 1 too.
That's another thing, speaking of Flash, you can't really meter burn back 3 him when you see him coming towards you because he can just jump to you anytime and stuff the crap out of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's a pretty good move.
Do you think Deathstroke players are eventually going to be able to react to dashes and punish with high shots?
No, that's impossible, but they should definitely be able to react to people jumping.
Because I know what Aquaman can do in the Killer Frost matchup is if she sees Killer Frost dash backwards, he can react with a ground trident. So, can't Deathstroke just do the same thing and just make that matchup much easier for himself?
I think forward dashes recover a lot better than a back dash.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think that that's possible, but I mean backdash when you backdash they backdash and they're stuck there for like a good second. Forward dash they forward dash and then like they can block almost immediately.
Yeah.
But they should definitely be able to react to him jumping. Like anyone unless they have like some sort of move that suspends them in the air, like a Green Lantern missile or Cyborg shot. Like if they're like Catwoman or Aquaman and they just jump and they're just hanging in the air,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have no problem just doing standing guns and blowing it up.
Right.
The easiest way to get in on Deathstroke is just to dash. Like, just dash. Like, who cares? His zoning is very whatever. Even I'll admit it. But his footsies cannot be underestimated. They're really good. And then he gets...
Oh, good?
I was just about to repeat myself. And then like he gets a combo and then he's like on top of you again. I love it.
But I mean, at the same time, high shots are still a 10 frame projectile, so every character has to respect just moving around on him from any part of the screen. Unless you're like Killer Frost or Flash or whatever.
The zoning that I do with them is just like, I'll do, like, it's pretty much people will sit there. They'll wait for low gunshots or gunshots. He'll do them, and then they'll dash.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the zoning that exists now is he does low gunshots, they block, and then they'll dash, and then they'll duck again. So, whenever they do that, I'll do low gunshots, and I'll just walk back. I'll just start strutting. And then I start making that ground back that they just made with that dash. And so that frustrates them. They're just like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this shit. So they'll want to start dashing again blindly. And that's when they gotta guess, like, do I dash again or is, like, while he's walking back, is he gonna do another low gunshot? Or
Mhm.
is he gonna pelt me with a a high quick fire or whatever? So it's like, do you want to close the gap quickly and risk getting shot, or do you play it safe and maybe let him get the ground he made back? Like, that's the best zoning that he's got at this point. And then if they get frustrated, they start jumping, and then it's a piece of cake for him to just blast you out of the air.
Right.
So that's what his zoning consists of now. I think that's the best way. But I mean, if you're a good Deathstroke and you do low guns, they block it and then they dash, and you do low guns. Well, yeah, they're gonna get in. Like, that's simple. You gotta do it a little differently now. Before, it was just spam. It was just spam as many shots as you can. And even if you guess wrong, at least you'll get chip. And then even if it didn't do chip, like, it's still, you just spam, and then you just jump back, and you just dash back, and shoot again, and then walk back, shoot, jump back. And it's just shoot, and then you just low shot, maybe meter burn, maybe not, and then low shot, and then high gun shot, and maybe meter burn, maybe, and just spam, just run away, just keeps, like, oh my god. Then that's stupid. That's dumb. Like, who wants to play through that shit?
Yeah, definitely.
Who likes fighting Sinestro?
I do. Dude, he's fun.
Yeah. But Sinestro, at least when you get close, like, they're not highs. Like, they're whatever, like, you can chill out. They miss when they're up close. And he's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I mean, Aquaman has a lot of leeway versus him, so maybe that's why I'm not as salty. But, doesn't Deathstroke do okay versus Sinestro? Can he outzone him?
Deathstroke wins full screen. And then once Deathstroke gets in the range where he can punish his Fear Blast with Gunshot, then it's kind of evens out a little bit. Maybe Deathstroke wins there. It's like full screen, it's a pain in the ass for Deathstroke, and then if he gets to mid-screen, then it's kind of 5-5-ish, and then if he gets even closer, then Deathstroke wins.
So Sinestro wins the spamming war, per se, from, like, full screen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
God, I hate Deathstroke, man. Broke.
I'm
Like,
distracted. I'm watching this Atlanta Kombat, and Glass Sword is going ape shit with Raven.
I heard Glass Sword has beaten Smargasm.
Yeah, I'm so hyped, dude.
What?
Yes, he's kicking ass.
With Aquaman?
No, with Raven.
He's using Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always played as Raven.
That's his main, I think.
Yeah.
I thought he used Aquaman now.
He used
that was his
Aquaman
ult.
at that one tournament.
That was his ult.
Oh.
Is Smargasm going to write that giant article if Glass Sword wins?
I think he will.
Can we talk about those articles? They're weird, right? It's not just me. They're weird, right?
Well, it's always weird to give yourself props.
Like, it's not just props. He writes a novel.
He talks about himself in the third person.
Yeah, who is he, The Rock? They're weird. So we're all agreeing. Let's just say it. They're weird, right?
They're weird.
Okay.
You're saying that the Atlanta scene is really weird?
I'm saying Smargasm's weird. I mean, Atlanta scene is weird. They have Clint, Glass Sword. They're weird.
I like when Glass Sword is like hanging out with Clint and like all
That is so awesome.
they're all drunk and like
They-
crazy.
Dude, I really want a buddy cop movie with Clint and Glass Sword.
Yes. Yeah.
Could there be an otter couple? They're incredible together.
They are. Their commentary is amazing.
Do you guys think the biggest upset in Injustice's tournament history is when Clint the Beast beat Denzel? At
I don't know
TS?
about the biggest.
That
but
was pretty
awesome.
good.
That was awesome.
Clint's good, man.
What
Yeah,
is the
then-
biggest upset so far?
PR Balrog getting top 8
Damn.
at EVO?
Pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Slayer getting top 8 at EVO. No one saw that coming. Because before EVO, Slayer didn't get top 8 as much in Injustice. It was only after EVO that he was a top 3 regular. That's why no
Yeah,
one saw it coming.
That's true. That's
I thought Saltface beating Rico was pretty Or was it? Or no, it was Deg. Was it Deg?
Deg beat Rico, yeah.
Yeah, that was holy shit.
But was that with Scorpion or?
Both.
Harley.
He won with Scorpion, and then he won with the last game was with Harley. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he won with Scorpion the first game, and then he lost with Scorpion, and then he went to Harley and won.
yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That
Then Rico
guy
got
was really good.
super salty.
Yeah. He rage quit, right?
No,
He
that
didn't
was
shake his hand or something.
Yeah, he didn't shake his hand,
Yeah.
and he got on the mic and called him a scrub. That was awesome.
Scrub.
Has Rico ever shook anyone's hand after he lost?
I'm sure he has, but
He gets pretty
That is-
salty.
Dude, there's
Do
a
you think
lot
the,
of...
is
a
the
lot of
world
upsets.
full of like weirder people because of like TV and video games? Like more
No.
antisocial people?
everyone was weird in the olden days. We just didn't know about it because they didn't have a forum to voice themselves.
Yeah, I can.
Weird people like me and Tom and Glassword existed in the 1800s. We were just on some farm by ourselves, so you never knew.
Yeah.
But
Or, like,
I
the
mean,
crowd
think
be
about it,
so
like if you weren't playing video games or watching TV, you'd be like your entertainment would be like to go out and you'd be forced to socialize to like have a good time.
No, I would be popping off to the horses and shit.
Okay, that's stupid. No one's doing that.
I'm just saying.
That's not weird. That's like insane.
No, instead of playing video games, I'd be reading books. I'd be at home reading and shit. Or I'd
But
be
then
going
it's
to the
still
theater.
antisocial.
Going to the theater.
Yeah,
To the theater.
yeah,
Like the opera.
yeah.
I mean, that's still like people and shit. You still talk to people there.
Okay, but that
Still
might
more
work.
social than like sitting and shooting people in Call of Duty.
I don't know. I think society hasn't changed at all. We just know. Guys like
Like,
Glassword
would
now
would
have-
like Gamer Blake and like Glass Sword be as weird as they are if they were in the 1800s?
I think
Yes,
so, yes.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm really excited for this performance of Macbeth I'm going to.
Okay, but Gamer Blake is one of the more articulate people on TYM, to his
He
credit.
is. He always uses really big words. Says way more than he needs to say.
Man, with the moderators on the site, man,
We are the
he's gonna close our thread.
Yeah, close this fucking thread. I am not amused.
That was good. Yeah, the Illuminati is going to close this thread.
Yeah. I want a Glass Sword Gamer Blake buddy cop. What do you think of that 1K money match with him and Rico?
I am so hyped for that. But I still need to know, can Rico use Aquaman? Because that hasn't been cleared yet.
I think it's Adam Sinestro locked.
But
First to 10.
but I don't know if I want to know if Rico knows that.
Yeah.
Because Rico used Aquaman against Playing to Win in Losers, and he still used Aquaman against Cowboy, even if he lost really bad the first match against Cowboy. He's still stuck with Aquaman.
I'm skeptical about this 1,000.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
It might be a work.
I'm excited, but I don't think it's going to.
I wouldn't pay 1,000. I'd just leave the scene over that, you know?
That's a lot of money.
You really think someone's gonna pay $1,000 over a video game?
But it's either between Playing to Win as a doctor, so he can afford it, or Rico is really damn sure he can beat.
Like, what does Rico do for a job? Besides going to the gym, what does he do? Like, I believe Playing to Win has that money. What does Rico do? Does anyone know?
So you think Rico's poor?
I don't think he's poor.
Is that what you're saying?
That's
I don't
fucked
think
up.
he's poor, but does he have $1,000? Maybe he plans on winning the tournament
That's
and using
fucked
the
up.
money to pay for
Do
it.
any of us on this call now have $1,000 in the bank?
No.
I don't.
I do, but not that I can just spend. I mean, I have expenses.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not going to bet $1,000 with Catwoman.
I don't blame you. Who do you think is gonna win?
Hypothetically, if Rico uses Black Adam,
Yeah, this is actually one of my match predictions, so let's get into that.
All right, let's do it.
We'll say Sinestro, Black Adam, first to 10 for $1,000.
playing to win.
Really?
Really?
Playing to win.
I think playing to win is really going to do his homework against Black Adam.
I agree.
Yeah, but Rico's the best.
But who does Rico have to train with in that matchup?
Cowboy.
But does he train with Cowboy consistently?
They play.
I don't know, man. But then I heard that playing to win and Cowboy have two totally distinct styles.
That's true.
What's going to be
However-
interesting to me is the mental state of these players in a first to 10 with that much money on the line.
It's like, Bit, you're the one that made the report card there that I keep on annoying you to bring back.
Yes,
How good of a clutch performer do you think Rico is?
that's the one. I think playing to win is not going to salt out. But Rico, no matter how good he is, you have to see that he's an emotional player. And that could hurt him.
But is emotional different from being a good clutch performer?
It can be. Like, I'm wondering if he gets behind 4 games, if he's going to salt out, or if he can adjust. I don't know. That's
'Cause
super fascinating to me.
Because KDZ, from what I've seen, I don't know him personally. Like, he gets emotional too, but I've seen him make some really, really good clutch performances. I think
Right.
KDZ's a really good clutch performer. And yeah, go on.
I if that was me, I'm playing the first to 10. I'm down like, I don't know, like 7-3 or something. Like, say it's like 6-3. I'm like, all right, if I just get this game, I'm still within range, but I lose. It's 7-3. Suddenly, I'm like, I'm not thinking about the match. I'm not thinking about learning what the other guy's doing. I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna lose $1,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's what I'm thinking about, and I'm
Panic.
like, fuck, man, where am I gonna get this money?
But hypothetically, playing to win is a doctor, so does he give a shit that he's
Yeah,
gonna...
like,
That's
he
what-
might be
that's-
fine, but
Yeah.
Rico, I mean, whatever he does,
$1,000 is a lot no matter what.
like, that's something you gotta prepare for, and you gotta prepare mentally that, that's a possibility. And you
Yeah.
gotta think, and like, if it's happening, you just gotta be like, alright, well, I was mentally prepared to lose $1,000, okay. But man, if like, you have the mentality of, I'm gonna fuck this guy up, fuck this guy, and then like, all of a sudden you're down a few games, like, all of a sudden you're not thinking about the game, you're thinking about like, I don't fucking have $1,000.
And Rico's really adamant that, like, he's one of the best, like, and he can totally just body playing to win. So I still think, as great and as consistent of a player he is, this guy has beaten him in tournament before. So
Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea who's going to win. Who wins that match? Does Sinestro win?
I think
I've
pretty
heard-
much everyone agrees Sinestro wins.
I think post-patch, it's probably 6-4.
Seems to be kind of unanimous.
Can he not punish the boulders or whatever?
he can, but
Well, with Black Magic, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it then. What's the problem?
He can meter burn that pebble and knock him out of foot dive.
Well, Wound said that Sinestro outzones Black Adam, and Black Adam has to come to him. Black Adam's pressure just isn't good enough. That's what Wound says.
yeah, it seems like in that matchup, Black Adam isn't really threatening at point blank, but just, oh my god, what if he reads a Fear Blast and dive kicks me for 40%?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's not like he can. I don't feel like he can zone him very well. Can he? I don't get it.
I have no idea.
I don't get
If you
it.
can't, if bouldering is super risky, and then so is doing, his Fear Blast, like, both of them he's gonna get, like, hell, like, good damage. Whereas Sinestro's just gonna get, like, whatever. I don't get it.
Well, they better get it with $1,000 on the line.
Yeah.
Q7, what's the next match?
Next match. Forever King versus Deg.
That's a really good
Let's go
one.
Batman versus Zatanna.
That's a really interesting one.
And Deg did beat Wound Cowboy on stream. So.
But that seems like a bad matchup for Sinestro. I'm not discrediting Dag, but
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it seems like
I think King's gonna be smart enough to just not even try and zone.
Yeah.
We'll just try and go in.
Just try and rush down.
And he's got bats. What better way to handle a teleport than just YOLO, oh, I see some sparks flying around, throw out bats. What better way to handle ring toss than just, I'm just going to sit here and she does a ring toss, I'm going to throw out bats and they're all going to hit. You know, I block the ring or whatever and then I go in. I think Forever King wins.
Forever King's an online monster. I bet he's trained in that match.
But so
Sure,
Dag's
Batman.
a monster as well.
Yeah, true, but I just figure that's probably a pretty good match for Batman. Like,
Yeah, I just don't I don't see that being like a, oh god, he'll never be able to catch her type thing. Like, I think Batman can handle her runaway decently enough.
So 2 for King.
Do you think King can run it back on Rico?
now that is interesting.
Because King, even though he lost really convincingly to Rico, is really, really, really adamant that he is the best, and he will beat Rico at NEC. What do you guys think?
He is probably the most consistent, isn't he? I mean, he doesn't get anything. I don't think he's not made a top 8.
Yeah.
Evo's the
gotten,
only
like-
time he hasn't made top 8. Evo,
Oh,
he
yeah,
didn't-
yeah, yeah.
Evo, he lost in pools.
Who did he lose to in pools?
Gridman and M. Betty.
Who the hell is
Betty.
M. Betty is a really good Doomsday player that I played at Evo. He almost beat me in the Killer Frost vs. Doomsday matchup. I actually see him post every once in a while. I don't think anyone knows who he is. He's from Texas. He has an avatar that is Doomsday wearing a cowboy hat. It's fucking awesome.
Never.
that? What?
Betty.
K7, you're a stream monster. You may remember Texas Showdown. There was this Reptile and Kano player who was like a big kind of chubby guy wearing a black cowboy hat. He had a cowboy tie on.
Oh
and
yeah,
was,
he like
everyone was
chewing
marking out for
tobacco.
him.
Yeah.
And he was chewing tobacco. He was hella redneck. Everyone was like, "That's tight. That dude's tight." That's M. Betty.
Okay. Yeah. I remember
His
that.
Doomsday was pretty damn good.
Why was his
Grid-
Doom? Wait, I thought Doomsday vs. Batman was terrible.
He nearly beat Killer Frost and he beat Batman at Evo. He got
So this
really
M.
far.
Betty
He
guy's
got-
like the best Doomsday that nobody knows about?
He is the hardest Doomsday I've played in a Killer Frost matchup by far.
Wow.
After
What?
I barely beat him, I was like, damn, dude. This match is bad for Doomsday and you took me to the limit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Against
No one knows about who
against
this
free
no one knows
pass
this-
Batman, he beat King?
He beat Forever King and nearly beat Killer Frost.
Damn.
Yeah, this dude's tight. No one
It's off
knows.
stream.
What was he doing with him?
Against me,
Yeah.
he baited out parry and then punished it with a full combo. Like, he didn't do sweep and shit. He would just not do, like, he'd do meter and venom, do nothing, and then, like, a full combo and shit.
Wow. It's impressive.
Yeah, and Gridman who beat King was that random Superman player who choked against PR Balrog to get to the top 8. Remember that shit show? Where PR Balrog and that Superman player were dropping everything, and everyone was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that. That was embarrassing.
He beat MIT in the top
Yeah.
16.
He double eliminated MIT, actually, I think.
Actually, in the brackets, MIT said he lost to KDZ.
Real, the brackets are super fucked up then.
Yeah, so I think what happened was MIT put Gridman in losers, then just Gridman ran it back on him.
Okay. Interesting. The brackets are messed up because the brackets say that Wound Cowboy lost to Trophy Club, and Wound Cowboy says that is not true. He actually lost to MIT. Yet I see no possible way that they should have fought according to the bracket. So
I saw Cowboy versus MIT though at Evo.
I don't know how they would have fought looking at the bracket. They shouldn't have been.
And then Trophy Club, I put into losers first round of the tournament, and he's a really good Black Adam.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Anyway,
Something got messed up.
either the brackets are wrong online or MIT wound on it got fucked over at Evo. I'm not sure, but if you go online, the brackets are still up. You can see they do not match what actually happened.
What if they shouldn't have fought, which costed MIT top 8 at Evo?
That would suck.
That's possible.
And no one
Damn,
knows.
Evo on blast.
I don't know. Like, I've talked to Wound about this. Like, I was like, Wound, how did you lose to Trophy Club? I didn't even know he plays. And he's like, I didn't fight, or he was like, I beat Trophy Club. What are you talking about? I don't know.
It's a conspiracy.
Against who?
I don't know. Next match.
Minorities?
Whoa!
What?
Whoa.
What? Where did that come from?
Well, MIT and Wound are minorities.
Oh yeah, John's.
Well, Wound's Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a
I
minority.
mean, he said he's Guatemalan, but it's like the same thing.
Gonzalez, come on.
Get
Yeah. Do they eat tacos? Yes or no? Close enough.
out. Mexican. Place closed.
All
Do
right, next match.
Mexicans and okay, anyway, yeah, whatever.
Your boy Wonder Chef versus Darth Arma.
Wonder Chef now or 17th at Evo Wonder Chef?
No, current Wonder Chef.
No, hell no.
Damn.
Hell no.
He's your boy.
Yeah,
He's my boy, but okay, Wonder Chef going to the Himalayan mountains for like a week and getting back in top shape, yeah, he'll win. But losing to two Batmans at Wednesday Night Fight Wonder Chef, not gonna happen. And he's my boy, and I'm saying this for him so he can be prepared for that day.
You're trying to motivate him.
Yeah, I'm trying to motivate him. So
What's his problem? What's going on?
he just has a full-time job, and it takes him like 2 hours to get to work because he takes the train. So I have all the sympathy for him. But I mean, at the same time, if you're gonna instigate that you can beat someone that got top 8 at Summer Jam, then I mean you got to have a strong case.
Didn't he have a good showing like a couple weeks ago with Zod?
He always has. He's always had good showings most of the time. It's just now work has kind of gotten in the way for him. But I mean, he still comes to Wednesday night fights, and he's done better this last one. So I mean, like I said, just like give him a week to unrust, and my money's on Wonder Chef.
Why does poor Chef always lose to Superman?
Oh boy. Okay, Chef, and I'll say this again. You're my boy. You're awesome. I always give you rides from Super Arcade. But it's time
This
to
sounds
tell
like
you
it's gonna be bad. This is.
it's going to be bad.
This is the
Oh man, I already
And-
feel bad.
Thank you for giving me shout-outs the council you were on, Chef, or the KTP you're on. But you can't beat Superman mains if you just look at the roster and say, oh, this character has one tool that works good against Superman. I'm going to play this character for a couple hours in the lab and go beat two Supermans that got top 8 at Evo. Whee! And then he goes, gets bopped by me and Slayer, and then he just complains about this game and hates Superman and just goes emo. You can't do that. You can't look at Sinestro, say, oh, he has a boulder. I'm going to beat Theo and Slayer. It doesn't work that way. You have to accept that being the human Mokujin doesn't work against the top tier character.
Human Mokujin.
You
Shout out to
have-
Mokujin.
You have to put in time with your character. You have to stick with your character. You have to break down the matchup and play that character consistently. And he also never plays me online. I can send him 50 invites and he never accepts them online. And then so I don't want to hear him complain about Superman if I offer him matchup experience and he always says no. So yeah, he never plays with me casually. lab monsters a character for a couple of hours, and then he expects that shit's gonna fly against Manslayer. Now, if hypothetically he consistently plays Zod for a week or two, yes, that is gonna be a big problem for us. But then next thing you know, he comes up with a theory that Green Arrow outzones Superman. And he probably lab monsters Green Arrow for a few days. So.
Did you hear that can opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard it.
Just. I mean, he's had good results in this game. He's gotten top tier Wednesday night fights as much as anybody else. He got 17th at Evo. I'm sure he did really well at Vindication, and he's beaten Chris G before. In tournament. Wonder Chef has beaten one of the best Injustice players in tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's 16-bit. He's beaten you in tournament, which I found really, really impressive, even if it was a really bad matchup for you.
He ended the career of 16-bit's Killer Frost.
Yeah, so I
Tired.
mean, Wonder Chef has a really baller resume in Injustice. So why is he so content with being a human Mokujin if he knows he has the potential to be a top player in this game if he just sticks with one character?
He had the same problem in MK.
Yep.
It's in his nature.
Some people just can't pick a man.
He had the exact same problem.
But I don't think it's that he can't pick a main. It's more he likes character hopping. I feel like players like CD Junior, MIT, Forever King, I feel they always switch their characters because it's like for direct tournament benefit. They feel that they have to get optimal results in tournament. Whereas I feel like, in my opinion, someone like Chef does it because he just thinks it's fun. But like I said before, why is it that you have this amazing resume in Injustice, and like this whole Mokujin spiel you have going on is just going to be counterproductive to that? And I mean, I'm saying all this because he's my friend. I want to see him succeed more in this game than he does.
What character do you think he should just stick with?
Zod. He's beaten me in tournament with Zod. He's beaten Slayer in tournament with Zod. He's beaten almost all of us in tournament with Zod. He has a really good Green Lantern as well. He has a pretty solid tournament record against Terrence Grundy with Green Lantern. I mean, he knows the Superman matchup really well with that character. But
yeah, I think people are really quick to count. Like it's kind of the old school ST syndrome in this game. Is people just look at the tools and they're just like, oh, this character can't do much about this, so I'm just gonna. It's like counterpicking seems heavy in this game.
Yeah,
and people aren't like exploring the matchups. It's like the US sucked in ST for a long time, and then we saw. Like, everyone thought, like, Honda just destroyed Zangief. Like, he just does 100 hand slap, and Zangief can't do shit. Like, he can't jump it, like, half the time. But most of the time, like, when he tries to jump over it, he gets blown up, and he can't, like, his 100 hand slap, it's pretty much going to beat almost every normal and sweep and shit. So it's like, for a long time, they were like, God, Honda, like, just matches 100 hand slaps. Zangief can't do shit. Mm-hmm. And then, like, come to find out, like, his duck jab just beats 100 hand slap clean. So Zangief is just sitting there duck jabbing, and now it's Honda's the one that can't do shit. Now Honda's the one that's having the problem. Now Honda's like, well, I can't 100 hand slap. So Honda starts jumping, and then he just gets lariated. And so now, like, Honda has to, like, he's got to do, like, different, like, there's just, the smallest thing can change a matchup. Like Blanca versus Guile was really bad for a long time because Blanca could just do that slide where he just slides with his like back or something. It would go under Sonic moves and it beat all of it. Like it beat everything. And like then they found out like Guile standing short beats the slide and it's like, oh, he can do something. I mean, it's the smallest thing changes everything. When people found out how Guile could do ducking shorts into flash kick, or when Ken could do ducking shorts into shoryukens, into super, like, changed everything. T-Hawk was the worst in the game for like a decade, and then they found out the option select to do an uppercut with the 360 smash or whatever, that throw. Now he's like top 3. He might even be the best in the game. Like, explore the matchups. Like, I know it's hard. It's hard to get to that spacing you want to go to. Sometimes it's just grueling. Like, I get it. But like, you just keep finding shit. Like, there is stuff. There's the smallest thing can change the matchup. Just keep trying to find stuff, and you'll be surprised. It's very small intricacies. It's huge.
It's like the way he sees that he can beat Superman would be like in Mortal Kombat if I just looked at Reptile's tools, just like lab monster for like 2 days, and I just think to myself, okay, I'm gonna go beat Rio now in tournament. It's like that's how counterproductive I see it. And Chef picking up Zod consistently for like 2 weeks was like the height of he was at the peak of his game with Zod. Like, he was at a lock in top 3. It's like fighting his Zod with Superman when he consistently played it. Like, that was an uphill battle. So and I mean, if he's a busy guy, which he is, since, you know, he has a full-time job, it would be better for him to stick with one character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, I got 2 more matches. Let's wrap this up. Saltface versus Slayer. Harley Superman.
I think I have to give the nod to Saltface. Unless you've played a Harley at that level, you're
You're
overwhelmed by Arizona, yeah.
But does she? I mean, she doesn't outzone Superman, does she?
It's dead
Probably.
even.
Maybe on the ground.
Probably not, but it's probably even. And,
But then Slayer doesn't know that, though, I think.
right, yeah, that's my point.
And Slayer is a really, really, really impatient guy, which Saltface just feeds off of.
Yes.
The first time me and
Anyway, go on.
The first time me and Saltface played like a long set, I didn't know that Superman can lame out Harley so well, and I thought her cartwheel was like plus on block. He bodied me, like, just it was horrifying. But then, like, I had to come to terms and accept that Superman has to lame Harley out. She has to play her full screen zoning game. I mean, yeah, KDZ beat Saltface at TFC by rushing him down, but I just think it was in Saltface's head that he's fighting the Evo champion, so I think he just kind of got nervous. When I know for a fact Saltface knows how to fight rushdown Superman. So,
Going Saltface.
unless if Slayer grinds out the matchup, I'll bet on him. If he fights Saltface, not knowing the matchup, it's undisputably Saltface. But then Slayer really knows his frame data in this game. He's really familiar with the positive and the negative, so I don't know. Maybe he knows the matchup. He plays on Xbox Live, so maybe he's fought Deg before.
All right.
I'll go Slayer. I'm gonna go with the power of Superman.
Interesting.
I've played Saltface before, and he destroys the rushdown Superman. But does Saltface, how good is he against Dive Bomb Superman? That's the question.
All right.
I don't know, that's a big what if.
Last match, and the most juicy. Theo versus Tom Bill Menudis Brady.
What's the matchup, first of all?
Aquaman Superman. With $5 million on the line.
Aquaman versus Superman. I
How confident are you?
am so confident. To the point where I would just think about it in advance what I'm going to do with my money.
Jesus.
Damn. Why are you so confident? Like, you just don't fear Aquaman?
Who wins that matchup?
It's even, maybe even slightly in Aquaman's favor, but I know that character. It's like Tyrant versus Johnny Cage. He knows the character, even if Jax probably loses to him. Even though Dizzy has beaten him the last few times, but still, like, he knows the character. And,
So you're just better than Tom? Or
I
you
mean,
just
he
know
knows-
the matchup better than Tom does?
yeah, I'm not gonna say who's the better player, because I just think that's a dumb argument, but I'll say this to Tom, that I really, really know the matchup, and I really, really know how to make Aquaman uncomfortable in that matchup. And I experimented with it against him online, and it worked wonders. I mean, it is the benefit of the doubt that, yeah, it was online, but
What do you say to him, like, you know, you not playing him? Like, not grinding out the match?
What's the deal with this beef? Let's hear it.
so
Yeah,
how
let's
did
go into
how
this.
did it all start?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, let's start from the top.
Okay. So, Wonder Chef and Flodzilla, the really, really good Aquaman player, they had a really, really friendly rivalry when Vegas came down to Wednesday Night Fights. It was like a Wonder Chef beat Flodzilla's Aquaman with Zod, and then Flodzilla counterpicked with Superman and beat Wonder Chef.
Does he even play Superman?
It's really good. So,
Okay.
and Vegas knows Superman in and out. So, and Chef didn't shake his hand. Flodzilla extended, and Chef said, "I'm not shaking your hand."
I remember that.
Damn.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah. And then I think Chef thought to himself, like, Aquaman bodies Zod. Why would he pick Superman? So next time Vegas came over, Flodzilla beat Wonder Chef with Aquaman. He didn't counterpick Superman. And then Chef just said, "Oh my God, Aquaman has Zod's number." So I train with Pig a lot online with Superman, but then I figured I want to see how good of a counterpick Aquaman is to Zod. And I hardly played the character back then. Like, I knew his BMBs, I knew what his thing was. So just playing Pig that long set was the first time I actually experimented with the character. And somehow when I fought Pig online, he just said, "Oh my God, Theo, you have the best Aquaman I've ever played." Like, I beat him, like, fairly convincingly in the set. And I think he just went, Dave, you have to play Theo's Aquaman. It's like the best Aquaman ever. So I played Dave with Aquaman, and I beat him fairly convincingly. So then, and who's the third person that hangs out with them? Tom Brady. So eventually the message goes to Tom that, "Hey Tom, there's this Aquaman named Theo, and he beats Dave worse than you beat Dave. Therefore, Theo is the better Aquaman." And then what really rubbed salt in the wound was, actually, I'll go back. So, back when my Aquaman was still kind of a pocket character, Tom was really nice to me. Like, back when my Aquaman was getting mopped up by Runway Mafia's Killer Frost, Tom was like, "Hey, it's okay, Theo, you're a great Aquaman. I mean, you'll learn and you'll be better, but no, your Aquaman's great, and I love learning from you." And then when I got second at Wednesday Night Fights, he seemed to be really, really passive-aggressive towards me on the forums. It's like I posted this tech of Aquaman punishing Green Lantern's minigun with trade. And then he seemed to just come off as, yeah, I've done that before. I mean, you probably don't know the Green Lantern matchup is an uphill battle, but I've done that before. Then next week I get first at Wednesday Night Fights, and he says, "Oh, Theo can use that Aquaman on me anytime he wants. I'll mop him up." I win Wednesday Night Fight with Aquaman again. Tom is nowhere to be seen. I win Wednesday Night Fights with Aquaman again. And then Tom just goes on Kryptonite Council and just blows the fuck up. But that's also akin to the fact that I beat him online with Superman, and I didn't offer him more games. But I think at the same time, it just really pissed him off that while he hasn't won any locals with the character post-patch, or not that I know of, I won 4 locals with the character post-patch.
He did win top of the food chain, to be fair, post-patch.
I know he got second in one of them, though, where he lost to a Flash player in Grand Finals.
Yeah, he got second at one of the Virginia tournaments, and he won that other one.
But I'm just saying to Tom right now that, yes, pre-patch you won ECT with Aquaman. Even though that was a very, very broken Aquaman that did 30% chip on Trident Rush, who had a safe 50-50, who people didn't know at the time that Black Adam had the Ground Lightning reversal game on the Ground Trident, and there was nothing Aquaman can do about it. But post-patch, you've only won 1 local with the character. So, what argument do you have post-patch that you're still the best Aquaman? I'm not saying that mine is better than his. I'm just saying, what does he have to support his argument?
I don't know. What other Aquamans are there? Like, what other Aquamans are doing stuff besides him, though? Besides yours. Yours is the only one.
Strictly post-patch?
Yeah. Is there other Aquamans?
No.
What
Well,
about
that's
Suk?
Yeah, exactly. But
Exactly. Wow.
Suk has gotten more top 3s than Tom in locals.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
I'll say this. Tom, while your Aquaman was getting gangbanged by every Bane on the planet,
Oh, no.
2 Wednesday night fights in a row with that character. And then you told me that Theo's Aquaman gets mopped up by Grundy. And all due respect to Tyrant, he's my boy. I beat him in Grand Finals this last Wednesday night fights. And at the exact same time that it happened, you said on Kryptonite Council that my Aquaman gets mopped up by Grundy. And that was the exact same minute and hour which I beat Grundy in Grand Finals.
All right.
Damn. I hate to interrupt that, but I have a breaking glass sword update.
Update us.
He has now won
Holy shit.
the entire tournament tonight,
What?
defeating Smargasm in winners 3-2.
Is he popping off?
I think so. I have the sound off.
That's awesome.
So that brings my next question: is he a favorite now going into NEC for top 8? I think
No.
he is. Did you say no?
On K7,
Yes.
an Aquaman player, even though he didn't use Aquaman, an Aquaman player has won a local.
That's true. He did win that local.
Bless
Yeah, he
won.
did win that.
He won the King of Bling. That's
Dude, he
technically-
won like $600.
Yeah.
With Aquaman.
He technically has had the most success post-patch with Aquaman. Technically.
Look, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying that, Tom, if you're going to present your case that you're still the best Aquaman post-patch, you have to say in front of my face, look, you won 3 Wednesday night fights only using that character. You won another local, consisting of most of the Wednesday night fight crew with that character. But post-patch, I'm, as in Tom, is still the better Aquaman. But what do you have to back that up? Even after you still got bukakied by those Bane players.
Jesus. That might be the intro. I think that's the intro.
Oh,
I'm being dead serious here.
God.
60 minutes, are you ready for those texts?
Man.
I'll say this. He didn't win ECT with Aquaman. He won with a broken beta character, which people thought at the time beat Black Adam. And then after that tournament, people figured out the way Black Adam fights that character. And then what happened? Tom lost to every single damn Black Adam in tournament. Excluding Smartgasm.
Shots are being fired.
Yeah, this is...
I like it.
You guys, like, who do you want to beat more? The
a
Superman
good
players or Tom? Like, you're gunning for everybody.
You have a
What
lot
means
to
more to
prove
you?
at NEC.
Yeah.
At its current state, I have the upper hand that I'm the better Aquaman than Tom. Because I've actually won tournaments with the character, post-patch. Let's just get that out the way. But I still have something to prove to the Superman players. I still have to hold that KDZ won EVO, and he beat the same guy that put me in losers at EVO. I'm still holding that. So, I want to beat the Superman players more.
Okay.
I just want to beat the best players at the East Coast more.
That makes sense.
Man, NEC is gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I know. I want to go just to watch everything.
You think
But if
that's
Tom-
gonna be? Is that gonna be like the biggest tournament for Injustice?
So far, it's
So
definitely,
far, yeah,
It's definitely got
But
the
if-
best storyline.
it's probably better than Evo.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Evo,
if Tom-
it was like a mixed bag, as there's a lot of people still playing MK9. And so it was just kind of. I mean, it's Evo obviously, but there wasn't much story. Like, the game was still pretty new. Everyone's just kind of doing stuff, but the game's kind of been a little more fleshed out now. There's different scenes at play, and now they're all going to converge, and we're going to see who knows what.
And I'll just say this to you guys that, like, me as a person, I don't brag very much. And, like, what I'm saying to you of what I've done with Aquaman, it's not as much bragging, but when Tom on the Kryptonite podcast said, Theo, I'm the better Aquaman, so take a fucking back seat and just learn that fact, that I'm the better Aquaman, that's kind of like, well, here is these facts of the argument that you still have to rebut to. Are you going to say that Tyrant, Slayer, Crazy, Sonic Boom Brad, Steve, are they just bad players, so those wins don't mean anything? Like, if you're going to go out of your way and say that post-patch you're the best, you have to present those facts of what I've done with the character.
Well, I think that he would say that while winning locals is good, nationally is where it counts. Like, you're beating your training partners. So, that's why NEC needs to settle this.
And it does. And
it will.
it will. Until, crap, what tournament? Until probably EVO that we'll meet each other again. Right?
Maybe SCR.
Maybe SCR, maybe, I don't know. Apex, I guess? I don't know. Frosty Faustings? But then, I have no right to say that at this moment, I'm the best Superman, because even pre-patch, KDZ still won EVO, and he still won TFC. So by that resume, he is the more successful Superman by a country mile against me. And even Slayer, post-patch, has had much more success than me with the character. He won 2 or 3 Wednesday night fights with post-patch Superman, while I was running to Aquaman for my bad matchups. So why are people still not intimidated about Slayer going into NEC? If he's shown more results with Superman post-patch.
I think he needs to pop off more.
He pops off a lot.
He needs to do more on TYM.
Yeah, he's not a TYM monster to begin with.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's change it up a little bit.
What's the most trouble you got in school?
I have a fucked up story for this, but I'll go last.
I was in detention every week, consistently.
Why?
Really?
My mouth, I couldn't shut up. I mean, are you surprised?
Just for talking?
Not just talking, but like the way I was basically examined the same as I am now, but in class.
You're like, he sucks at Foursquare.
Like, also just different shenanigans. I got in-school suspension all the time.
What?
I was in in-school suspension probably like 20 different times. I mean, I literally had detention every Wednesday and Saturday, like booked straight up. Like, I mean, there was points where teacher would be like, "You're gonna get a detention," and I'd be like, "I don't care," and they'd be like, "What day should it be on?" And I'd be like, "You're gonna have to book it like 4 months in advance." Like, I've already got it.
Wow.
What are you saying to them? Like, what?
Yeah, they don't just throw you in there for.
Yeah, that's not like they're saying your Killer Frost sucks. Like, what are they saying?
I mean, I was just popping off, and
What would you pop off about? What? Like, at least now, like, you have an ego. Like, what were you, like, holding on to in high school?
nothing. Like, it's not that I would be cocky. I would just be talking about whatever I want. The latest, dude, Resident Evil's so tight. Let's talk about it. And then just whatever I felt like talking about. Like, I didn't shut up.
That's weird.
A lot of shenanigans, pranks, and shit. I mean, I was always clowning around, getting in trouble for insubordination. Like, you know, they'd be like, if you don't stop, you're going to get a detention. I'd be like, I don't care. Book me. Like,
You
I'm
seem
already
like a massive nerd.
What?
You seem like a massive nerd in high school, though.
Yeah, I thought that too.
No, I mean, I was exactly the same as I am now. I mean, kind of. Like, I was in the geek culture stuff, but I wasn't, like, shy. Like, I didn't... I was
How
basically...
How did the cool kids like you then?
I thought they thought I was kind of funny, so they were, like, amused. I think the most trouble I ever got in was... There was, like, this scandal where we stole some shit from the library, like this giant dictionary, and we put it in a kid's locker so that he'd open his locker and that giant dictionary would be in it, and it'd be like, what is this? And they went ape shit about it. Like, we just thought it'd be a funny prank, and then he'd obviously turn it in and be fine, right? Like, what's the big deal? It's not like we shredded it or anything. They went ape shit. They treated it like it was a fucking serial killer on the loose. They interrogated us and shit. And
What?
They brought us into the principal's office and they interrogated us. We wouldn't admit it was us, but they knew. So they were coming, we know it's you, why don't you just admit it? And we'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, how would that work, by the way? How dumb is that? We know it's you, just admit it? Why would it be like, you've got me?
Yeah,
What?
they got to take, each one of you into a different room, and then you have different stories, and then they're like, then they have you.
Yeah, it's a trap.
They did, but we had our stories straight. We all pled ignorant. We were all just like, I don't know. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know.
Was that planned ahead of time?
Once they knew it was us, we were all like, so we're all gonna agree we don't know anything. We were all like, all right. They suspended us anyway. They were like, well, hold that. We know it's you. You're suspended.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, they had no real evidence, but they suspended us anyway. Their logic was basically, who else would do this? Which is, I mean, they were right. They were right. That is. And then I remember
There was no one as bad as you?
It's not bad, but who would be dumb enough to steal a giant dictionary? Like, that's just stupid. Then they called my parents, and they expected me to get blown up. But my parents, like, I remember my dad was just like, I don't really care, but why would you do something so dumb?
Yeah.
He was like, that's not even that funny of a prank. That's just dumb. So then, in retaliation, we threw away the librarian's keys.
Oh, what?
That's tight.
We took her car keys and threw them away. Which in hindsight is really mean. I don't know why we did. And as soon as we did it, we knew. Like, we took her car keys and we threw them away. And then we went to the lunch area and we were talking, and like, wait a minute, this is actually kind of fucked up. Like she's gonna have to get new keys made and shit. Like, this. maybe we went too far. But then we couldn't. We were like, well, what do we can't admit it. We didn't want to come clean. We weren't gonna like dig him out of the
Yeah,
trap.
like wouldn't they know that was you as well?
They did, but they couldn't do shit.
Well, they couldn't do shit before, and they still suspended you.
Before they suspended us because we put it in our friend's locker, so there was this connection. With their keys being wrong, they literally just had nothing to go on at all. So they asked us, and we were just like, I don't know anything. And they were just like, God damn. So we didn't get in trouble for that. There were a couple other things like that we got in trouble for. I know one of my friends, he got in a lot of trouble because he ran over a guy on purpose.
What?
Like, he was in his truck, and there was this jock guy that always gave a shit. And he, like, got in front of the truck and was waving his arms, and he was like, stop the truck, like, jokingly. And my friend was just like, fuck this dude. And just he ran him over. He literally ran him over. Like, he hit him. He hit the hood and, like, rolled up on it, like, out of a movie, and then rolled off and was, like, injured. They called the cops. Yeah, they called the cops for that shit.
That's awesome.
He lost, like, his license for a while and shit.
Wow.
He literally was like, fuck this guy, and just ran him over.
What if he didn't flip over and he went under? That
killed him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I guess. That's like attempted murder.
Yeah, he got in a lot of trouble. He had to, like, he couldn't drive for a long time.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
Also, I was involved in a plan to have a chick fake her death, but it never went through, but she was, like, planning it.
What?
That's weird.
Yeah, she wanted to run away and fake her death, and she asked me to help her out, and I was just like, alright. So, we started to, but she decided not to go through with it.
Why not?
I don't know, I guess she decided she didn't want to run away.
What was going to be your role?
Well, she wanted me to help her get a fake ID, and she wanted me to come up with how she could fake her death and shit. Because I knew a guy that was super shady who could do shit like that.
What the fuck? You know those kind of people?
Yeah, I knew a guy that was super shady in school. Like, he was a good friend of mine. He was shady as hell, though.
Oh,
So
and he was your friend, too.
Yeah, I could call him, and he'd be like, yeah, I can do that. So she went to me, and I was like, yeah, I don't care, I'll help you. But she didn't go through with it. I probably would have gotten in a lot of trouble for that, right?
Yeah.
That's like fraud and shit.
That's fraud, dude.
Yeah. I think those are the big stories.
Jesus.
Mostly I was just insubordinate. I remember in gym class I was so insubordinate and so, like, lazy and shit that by, like, the last year, the gym teacher was just like, look, Brownback, let's make a deal. I will give you a D if you will just walk laps with your friends and talk about Mortal Kombat or whatever instead of disrupting the class. Yeah. I'll give you a D. And I was like, all right, I'm done. Sold.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so fat.
Yeah. So we would do that. There would be like 3 of us, and we would just walk around and talk amongst each other instead of disrupting the class. Because, you know, I'd always want to be a showman and, like, be like a talk show host at school, and everyone was super entertained, so the teachers hated that. I also remember in math class, I did so poorly that one time the math teacher who hated me, she was like one of those old women that hates kids, you know, like a really bitter chick. Like, you know, fucking Marge Simpson's sisters?
Yeah.
She reminded me of them. She hated, because I like to have fun, and she hated fun. She once blew me up. She put me on blast. Like, she told the whole class how bad my grades were and shit. She absolutely She blew me up. And I went to the principal about this, and I acted like, I didn't really care that much, but I acted like I was super traumatized. I was like, this is like the most humiliation I've ever suffered. Like, I don't know if I can function anymore.
Oh my god.
And they called my parents, and they were so afraid that I would, like, sue the school or whatever. Because this is a big deal. You can't do that. Like, you can't fucking embarrass your student.
Yeah.
That they agreed to just give me a C in math, and I didn't actually math anymore.
Oh my
So
god,
wow.
are you kidding?
Me and my parents agreed to keep it. We were like, we'll keep it hush hush, as long as you give me a C. And I just had an extra study hall.
That's tight.
They
Oh
covered it.
my god. You got your high school diploma off bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even back then, I was rigging shit to get ahead. So,
Just no microphone.
yeah, another story is that I was in shop class, and the teacher had this cassette recorder that would play, like, music, and I pushed the cassette recorder into the water, like the sink, so it
Why
got
the hell
into
did you do that?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny. Like, he was talking, and the recorder was on, and I just kind of bopped it, and it fell into the sink full of
What
water.
a dick.
The
That's
dude,
fucking stupid.
I know, and the dude punched me. The teacher punched me.
Wow.
Me in the arm. Like, he got really mad and punched me in the arm. So then everyone was like, oh my god. Because that's huge, right?
That's equally fucked up.
The whole class was like, and the teacher went into his office and started, like, crying and shit.
Are you? What?
Yeah, he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, he can lose his job. Over
Yeah. So then we all had to go to the principal again and shit. And I was kind of like, I don't really care if he punched me. I was kind of like, I see his perspective. I'm not really sure why I did that. It seemed like a good idea at the time. So I'll let it go if he lets it go. And that's what happened. Like, nothing happened. I didn't get in trouble, and he didn't get in trouble. We were just kind of like, well, it's
Just
fine.
let it be. Yeah.
I did something dumb, and he did something dumb. We'll call a spade or whatever. That was pretty bad. I did something so obnoxious that a teacher punched me.
I can see it.
Jesus, you were terrible.
Yeah, I was terrible. I actually almost didn't graduate.
God. That's pretty
I
bad.
thought you'd be like a goody good.
Absolutely. Really? Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought you'd be like a
Terrible.
super nerd.
Oh, terrible student. Terrible.
So why does Dizzy hang out with you?
Yeah, it seems like you hang out with like shady people. You're into like insubordinate. Like you should be like some sort of like thug,
Yeah.
but like you're like playing video games. Like the contrast of your personality and your interests are very, very different.
I guess so. To me, it's not really thug-like though. It was all just, I just wanted to be funny. And,
Mischief.
yeah, it was mostly, I'm like low-key. I'm not like an evil, like I'm mischievous.
You seem like the accountant for like shady people.
Kind of. I'm like an associate of shady people.
You're like it's like shady people would say, I know a guy who knows a guy who can hack this guy's computer and ruin their lives.
I've
like
just always been mischievous. My mouth, obviously, I don't think before I say anything, so that gets me in trouble constantly. Like, if a teacher did something that was funny, I'd be like, are we going to acknowledge how dumb that was, or whatever?
Yeah, I would hate that if I was.
Or, like, I'd make dumb jokes. I'd argue a lot. I remember my history teacher, I'd argue with him about facts. I'd be like, you're wrong. This is what actually happened, or whatever. Like, hold that.
You're that kid in this.
Were
You're
there
that
any
kid
cool
in class.
teachers? Were there any teachers that like they acknowledged like the things you said, and they're just like, Steve Brown-Beck, he's just a cool guy, or
Yeah,
Is it
it was like 50-50. Some teachers hated me, but some, like, I had, like, my final history teacher, he was like, hey, you're interested. Like, at least you're arguing. Like, most students don't give a fuck. Like, you're going to challenge me, make jokes, make it entertaining. Fuck it, let's go. Let's do it. He'd argue with me. I'd blow him up, and he'd blow me up, and the class loved it. And I actually got good grade. Whenever it was something that I liked and the teacher was cool, I actually did well. That's how I ended up being able to graduate. Like, I'd go from getting like an F to getting like an A in different classes, depending on the personality types.
yeah, I think like one of the funnest things about you is that you'll argue. Like I'm pretty quiet, but I like to argue, and I like someone that speaks their mind. I like someone that, they'll challenge what you're saying. And, if you get blown up and you're full of shit, then hey, someone call you out and you gotta hold that. And if you know your shit and you can defend yourself, or if you disagree, then, bygones be bygones. Like, that's one of the things I like about you. Like, that's cool. Like, it's weird, like, how it's, I guess your personality is you can love or hate, I guess. It's pretty interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's been the same for years.
Pretty interesting stuff. I
People
learned something about 16-bit today.
Yeah, people either find me very entertaining or are just like, shut up,
Yeah.
fat fuck.
I feel like if I was a teacher and someone's like, talking shit, I'd be like, all right, let's go. Yeah, like, I agree. That's pretty cool. I had teachers like that too. The cooler the teacher was, the more open-minded they were, like, just to the students, as opposed to a teacher's like, I'm teaching you and this is how it is. This, very stern. Like, I mean, I would do what I did the job. But like, yeah, the more open-minded, the more engaged with the teacher was to the students, and students could ask him questions. Because if a student can ask you questions and you can answer them, the more respect the student has for the teacher.
Yeah.
And I remember just like in college, I would drop classes because like I'd be like, this teacher, like, it doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking about. He's just teaching me because, this is what the book says or some shit.
I was also like really big on, even like now, I something needs to be logical for me to get behind it. Like if a teacher would assign homework and it was like, we've already done this 100 times, or I don't really need to know this, I'd be like, I'm not doing this. Just don't even give me the homework. I don't care. But if it was like homework, like I just refused. I was super stubborn about it. I'd be like, this is pointless.
Yeah, I was kind of like that too, except I just suck it up and just be like, oh, this is fucking stupid, and I do it. But I mean, I would cheat if I had to. Like if I really hate, I'd just be like, man, fuck that. Like there was a time in college I took this environmental class. It's like one of those bullshit classes you had to take, and like the very first day you had to pick a subject on a research paper, and I was looking at this list, and I was like, there's acid rain. I was like, let's do acid rain, because, I don't know, maybe it's cool. And then, like,
cool as it sounds.
Yeah, I researched.
It does sound
this
cool.
Fucking sucks. I was like, this is.
Did you think of, like, the Lee Chow Land move, and that's why you did it?
Yeah, I was hoping, like, this whole city got, like, burned to the ground or some shit. And I was like, God, it's like a molecule of bacteria is in the rain or some, just unbelievably boring. And so I remember, like, it was the night before when it was due, and I knew, like, ahead of time, I was like, God, I don't get, like, the whole class was just stupid. I was like, I don't care about any of this shit. And it was one of those, like, things where if you had an A, you didn't have to take the final. And, like, I bullshitted my way up to, I had, like, a B or something. Like, I was, I did what I could. And I had to do this research paper, and I was like, oh my fucking God, this is stupid. And it had to be, like, 10 pages long. I had, like, the title and a sentence, and it was, like, 3 in the morning. And I was like, dude, this sucks. So I started scouring the internet, and this was, like, years ago. I was like, there's got to be some sort of fucking, like, article or paper on something on acid rain, and I'm just going to copy and paste this shit. And I found, like, this 8th grader's, like, some 8th grader had, like, a paper or something like that, and it was really extensive. Like, she had, like, graphs and shit, and I was like, Jesus. I was like, this is way too intricate, but I was like, I'll just get rid of these graphs, and I'll just throw this in. And so I turned in this 8th grader's paper. I was like, fuck this. And then, so I have to go take my final. I go, and I'm late. I'm like a half hour late to the final. I'm like, Jesus, this is going to be a blow up. I show up late. I'm like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah. She's like, I need to talk to you. I was like, fuck. I was like, she found out I cheated. she was like, this was your grade before the final, and this is your grade now. I got 100% on that paper. An 8th grader's fucking rendition of Acid Rain got me 100% on a college paper. And I got an A, so she's like, yeah, you don't have to take up the final, you can leave. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. It was one of the happiest days of my life. Fuck that class. It was tight.
Alright, I got a story. 7th grade math class. We had this teacher. She was super fucking hot. Everybody was like, oh my god, she's so hot. And one day my friend, he takes this piece of paper and he draws her. He draws her naked. Like really graphic, like bent over, pussy spread. I mean, and he puts her name on top of it.
Damn.
And she's like, come fuck me, Miss Apricot, or whatever her fucking name was. Later in that day, we're doing our like work. I grab a piece of paper out of my trapper. And it was that piece of paper had that picture on the back. I didn't know it. I did my work on the front and I handed it in.
Oh
Dude,
my god.
I was totally oblivious. I did not even know. It was out of my mind. The next day, like before that class, they're like, Robert, you need to come to the principal's office. I was like, what the fuck did I do? I don't know. I go into the principal's office. I go up to the desk, and there on the desk is the picture. And he's just sitting there staring at me. And he's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm
What'd
like,
you say?
I was like, I didn't draw that. And they were like, well, who drew it? And I didn't want to rat on my friends, so I was just like, I didn't draw it, I don't know, you know.
Well, how did you explain it? Your fucking work was on it then.
I didn't.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I didn't say anything. I was just like, I didn't draw that.
Did you get the heat for it?
I got the heat for it. They called my parents, and they showed it to my mom.
Oh my god.
Dude, if you saw this picture, it was like really crude and nasty.
So you got the suspension or whatever?
It wasn't suspension, get this. The rest of the year, that teacher was so disturbed that every time her class came up, I had to go sit in the principal's office for the rest of the year.
Oh, damn, no
I
shit.
swear to God.
Wow. What did your parents say?
My dad thought it was funny. My dad was like, he didn't draw that because I draw pretty good, and he knows I draw better than that. But my mom was like, that's fucking sick.
So it wasn't even a good drawing?
No.
Oh, that sucks. That's disappointing.
But did it look like your teacher to the point where you couldn't just say, I just drew a random naked chick?
It had her name on it.
Oh, shit.
It was like, come fuck me.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That,
Oh, by
that
the way,
really happened.
I've been meaning to tell you guys, can we all just pick one of PL's random tweets and decide to all just retweet it? Just like one of his... Just like tell all your friends, all your training partners, just pick like he has this tweet where he just says, wow, and nothing else.
Let's tell you.
His tweets are... Isn't he just randomly tweet about KFC and shit?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah.
He'll just be like, I want some KFC.
Are you guys all down to just retweet where it says, love, I heart the fans?
The fans.
Fans?
He has fans.
Yes, pun intended.
I don't think he has fans. Everyone hates him.
He has fans. Some people like him. I like Carl. He's still funny. I think he's cool. I like blowing him up.
Let's talk about your Halloween costume.
Okay.
That was weird.
I thought it was awesome.
Dude, you went all out on that one.
I did. I'm super proud. I think it's absolute horseshit that I wasn't voted the best costume.
You didn't win
You
Best
shaved your
Costume?
beard for it and you didn't win.
Yeah, I think that shit was rigged.
That was pretty fucked
Who
up.
won?
The guy that played Bob.
The guy
That was
just
pretty
randomly
good.
showed up.
The Bob
Yeah.
was good though.
I think that shit was rigged. I think the fact that I had every detail I did, man. I had the necklace, the belt, the mask was perfect. Get the fuck out of here, man.
You look just like her. It was disturbing.
And now I fucking look like Flo for a few weeks. That's the price I had to pay.
Yeah, I
You're
thought it was
fat,
kind of
you
fucked
need a-
up.
Yeah, fat, you need a fucking beard.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact, dude.
Did you wear that costume on the drive over?
Most of it,
Did you wear the wig?
no.
Oh,
But I
that'd
did,
have been
wear, I
awesome.
did wear the entire thing at Tony's Diner afterwards.
Really?
Yes, it was awesome.
Wow.
What did the waitress say?
They thought it was awesome. I told them ahead of time, and I don't think they believed it. Because they all know us there. It's the same waitresses, the same Tony himself is always there, Tony Jr. So they know us very well. And I had told them weeks in advance, yeah, I'm being Catwoman for Halloween. And they were like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. So when I showed up, they were like, that's awesome.
Which waitress was it?
The older one.
Not like the country one? The fat
It's not
country?
the new country. No, it's not the new country one. It's the older one, the coolest one.
Okay.
The
The one
that
that's
was-
normal there.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought that stream was great. I thought that was an example of why, in my opinion, GG is the most fun region.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Like, people are like, oh, they're not going to know matchups. They suck. They need to play online to be good. Yeah, I don't care. We dress up as our characters for Halloween. You can hold that shit.
That's much more important.
Yeah, the break has the best competition. Okay, cool. No one gives a fuck about the break. Alright? They can be the best. They can have the best scene. Because we have the most fun. Hold
What
that
the
shit.
fuck, 16-bit?
Just saying.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like, you can't say that in front of me. That's fucked up.
All right, same thing with Wednesday Night Fights. Where were you? Where was your fucking Superman costume?
Okay, I dress up as Clark Kent in depression mode with just a beard.
You do. You do look like him. Are you into
Okay, so
Weezer? Are you into Weezer?
Yeah, are you into Weezer?
I only like 2 songs from them.
They're a good band.
I like that Say It Ain't So song. That song's tight.
Yeah.
That Buddy Holly song was good.
K7, who did you want to be for Halloween?
Cabal. Is there a question? Man, I want a Cabal mask. That'd be so awesome.
Theo, did you have any school stories? Like, what was the most trouble you got in school?
I didn't really get into much trouble at school.
You were a straight edge student.
I mean, I did okay in school as far as grades went, but yeah, nothing really worth story-wise as
How
far as
old
getting
are you?
20.
Oh, you're so young. We're
Yeah, I
old.
don't have anything that compares to what they had. The most I ever did was like flick off a teacher.
Why? That's awesome.
Why?
Oh, he was making fun of me. He pissed me off.
That's
Like,
Why was he making fun
it
of
was
you?
the fucking study hall teacher. Like, we're in study hall, and he wanted us all to be quiet and shit, and he's like, everyone be quiet or something like that. He was really douchey looking. Like, he was just stupid. Just shut the fuck up and let us fucking, it's study hall. Shut the fuck up. And like, someone said something like kind of smart alecky, and I laughed. Whenever someone blows up a teacher, I laugh. Especially if they're a douche. And so I laughed, and he's like, oh, Brad's laughing. Like, that's surprising. You think anything's funny. And I was like, what the fuck? So he like turned around, and I like crossed arms, you know, and flicked him off. But there was like, the homeroom teacher was also in the room. And she saw me, and she like popped off. She was like, you're not getting away with that. No, absolutely not, blah, blah, blah. And she fucking wrote me up. I had ISS for that. But that was about it. And he got in trouble though, like, they saw that I never got like in trouble or anything, and they're like, this student, like, you know, he's never even had detention before, or like. Then I told him, I was pissed because, like, you know, he pretty much insulted me, said I was like a jackass. And so he, like, the next time I saw him, he was like, I didn't say that. I was like, bullshit, fuck you. So I think you got in trouble. Like, that's good shit. Shut the fuck up. He was gay.
What's wrong with gay people?
Oh. Gay, G-H-E-Y, not G-A-Y.
Okay. Then it's okay.
I have no justification for the bad wording I just used.
Can you call someone a faggot without sounding homophobic?
No, that's
Not really.
You're banned.
Yeah.
That's banned.
That's banned.
Yeah.
You're banned.
Like if
Yeah,
you say
that's not-
someone plays like a faggot,
No.
that's still homophobic.
Nope.
I don't think I've heard anyone use faggot more than Sunk.
I agree, which is very
He
disturbing.
like says it daily.
He says it constantly. It's like
Keep
his
playing it.
favorite-
You're such a faggot.
That's like the N-word for gay people.
True.
Yeah.
He's like
We're not allowed to say it anymore.
he's like Chris Cooper from American Beauty, where he's just like that war veteran dad that's in denial that he's gay.
Yeah, basically.
So you think Suk is gay?
No, but I don't think he thinks clearly about what he's saying.
But
I
he's
mean, I
your
used it a lot, you know, I was growing up as a kid, and like that was like the big insult.
Yeah,
you
that was
really
the big
didn't like
insult.
someone.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, you're a faggot. Like, then it was like, oh shit, those are fighting words, as they used to say.
No one said that in your time. Them fighting
shit.
words or whatever?
Oh, the fighting words,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
really
what are you from the 1950s?
What are you talking about? That's hip.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Those are fighting words. Put
Yeah.
them up and you go to the old-timey boxing stance. Get out of here.
What are you talking about? People probably say that to this day.
No. No
Yes.
one's saying those are fighting words. No one, what are you taking out your fucking glove and smacking them across the face with it? Get the fuck out of here. No one says that anymore.
Bullshit. People say that all the time.
I have never heard anyone be like, those are fighting words.
Well,
Besides-
I mean, you grew up in fucking Springfield, away from civilization.
Okay.
Back in St. Louis,
The Lou?
the Lou,
Hilarious.
when when shit was about to get real up in here, they'd be like, "Oh man, you're using them fighting words." Like, oh shit. And you knew shit was going down.
What a weird conversation.
How is Tom the quiet one in some situations?
Tom?
Brady?
Yeah, it's
I
like
think it just depends on how emo he is at the time.
He's not quiet.
He is when he's emo.
When he's emo, he's super quiet.
Yeah.
Because like he keeps on saying, like I go to Microsoft and they say he must be the quiet one.
Maybe he's emo there. My favorite part about that interview Tom just did was how at the beginning he's like, I'm quitting and we'll never enter another tournament again. Then he started getting riled up and he's like, I will mop that guy up. There is no way I won't get top 3. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. He quit for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, his retirement lasted about 10 minutes.
Shut the fuck up, big God! I don't like you.
That
Yeah,
was,
that was the best part.
That was awesome.
I want to put that.
What was it? 1-800 oink oink.
That was great too.
Oink fucking oink. I like this Brady cast.
So, earlier I was talking about reading these Batman graphic novels. And I've also been watching some animated movies and stuff like that. And I had an epiphany. I came to a realization that I never thought I would make. And to me, it's a big deal, but I doubt anyone else cares. I'm going to talk about it anyway. I have decided that Batman is superior to the X-Men. Batman is the greatest comic book universe of all time.
I don't know about that.
I know about that. I never thought I would say that. And I think in terms of characters, I see why. I always thought X-Men had the coolest characters and the coolest premise, like mutant rights being a metaphor for other human rights issues and stuff like that. But reading some of these best Batman stories, Batman has superior stories, I think. Like, I've read a lot of Dark Phoenix Saga and all that as a classic, but I don't think it is even close to the quality of Batman Year One. The writing, the art, it's on another. The best of Batman, Dark Knight Returns, Year One, Long Halloween, Hush. These stories are on another level to the best X-Men stuff, in my opinion. And then you take the movies. I love X-Men 1 and 2, but Nolan Trilogy, 89. Batman the Animated Series as a child, I don't think I appreciated it as much. Like, as a child, I would have said X-Men was better. But if you look at the art style, the quality of writing, the quality of voice acting, is there anyone that's going to make the case that Batman the Animated Series was not significantly ahead of X-Men?
In terms
Batman,
of, like, quality of production, yeah.
Isn't your ringtone the X-Men theme?
It is, and I should change that to the Nolan Hans Zimmer Batman theme, because Batman is better.
Personally, I'm going X-Men. I have a song.
I even think
X-Men.
X-Men has some really good games. The Marvel games,
Yeah.
Mutant Apocalypse,
Genesis game.
X-Men 2 Clone Wars, but Batman, I've been playing Arkham Origins, and I actually think it's better than Arkham City, which is controversial. But in my opinion, it's more linear, it's a tighter, more streamlined experience, and that makes it better. I think it has a better story. All three are great. Asylum, City, and Origins are all great.
City got better reviews.
Well, I don't give a fuck about the reviews. I mean, City is a classic. It's a great
I just
game.
played it like a month ago and it was fantastic.
That trilogy of games is probably better than any X-Men series of games. Like,
What is new about it? Is it just that engine with a new story?
there's a couple new gadgets. The detective mode is
just
a little
more of the
better,
same.
but it's more of the same, but it's really good.
Isn't there like multiplayer and stuff?
There is, but I haven't even tried it yet. I don't care about that. I'm getting all the Riddler stuff right now. Like, I've finished the story. I'm just mopping up the Riddler stuff. Batman has a better rogues gallery. I like the X-Men villains, but the Joker, in every incarnation of the Joker, is so good. Like, what X-Men villain is on the level of the Joker?
Magneto?
Maybe, but that's it. Just Magneto.
Sabretooth.
Absolutely not.
No, he is fucking tight, dude.
Yeah, he's tight, but does he have the emotional, like, resonance of the Joker?
Yes.
Are there any? No way.
He's
No.
physically badass. He can kill. I mean, he's an animal, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. He's an animal. What's the psychology of that? Like,
What's the psychology of just being crazy?
Joker's not just crazy. He's
He's
crazy like a fox, man. He's brilliant. Like, what's Sabretooth performance or story has been even remotely comparable to what Heath Ledger brought to the screen? Was that fucking
X-Men 1?
yeah, Tyler Mane
Just stands there.
Academy Award? Yeah, he stands there and goes, "Arr!" Like, really?
I'm saying Batman has
Wait a
been
minute, what about
executed.
Phoenix? Phoenix is super epic.
It's a great story, but I don't think it's as well written.
I would say Magneto Phoenix is equal to Joker and, I don't know, who else?
I don't think Chris Claremont's writing is as good.
Apocalypse?
I mean,
Apocalypse?
Dude,
Apocalypse, but that's
The
the thing.
Sentinels and shit?
Mr. Sinister.
Apocalypse is cool. These Batman Rose Gallery goes beyond cool. Like, these are characters that are way more fleshed out, have way better writing. Like, Apocalypse is just what Mr. Sinister story like really made you think.
I don't know, I just like those characters more, I think.
I mean, I think they're cool. I still really like X-Men, but to me, like finishing Batman Dark Victory last night, I was just like, damn, that was really tight. Like, that was really, really fucking epic. I can't remember the last X-Men related thing where I thought, like, that was on another level. Like, that was storytelling. It's as good as it gets, basically.
Have you read the new 52 Batman?
I read the Court of Owls.
Yeah, I just finished the first 13.
Which I thought was pretty tight.
They were awesome.
And I read the first year of Catwoman, which I thought was pretty good. Her book is terrible now, but I've almost been reading old stuff though. But
I do like Batman, but I gotta go.
his universe is better, man.
Remember you wanted to do an X cast.
That's true.
I know. Now I want to do a Batcast.
Batcast.
Also, the '60s show, dude. Come on, man. bad Batman is like, there's no bad X-Men on the level of bad Batman and how tight it is.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, what is comparable to Batman 66 for X-Men? Like, Pride of the X-Men, that cheesy pilot? Not even close. Even goofy Batman in all incarnations is godlike. Adam West's over-the-top satire Batman is, like, funnier than anything in X-Men.
Well, X-Men doesn't ever try to be satire.
Well, that's what's great about Batman. And he is whatever writers want him to be, and it's always super high quality. Not always, I mean, but it can be.
I'll tell you why X-Men is better. It's more variety. It's not just one character. It's a team. It's a universe. Batman is always one guy against a villain.
It's not always one guy, though. I mean, there's a reason they call it the Batman
around
family.
one guy. And, like, a couple others. X-Men is, like, fucking 50 people.
That is cool, but you could also make the case that that makes Bruce Wayne that much more fleshed out.
Yeah, but there's less you can do.
I don't know about that. Like, there's a lot of facets to that character. I mean,
who would win Wolverine versus Batman?
Batman would figure out a way to beat him.
No fucking way.
But regardless, I mean, I'm just kidding there. But
yeah,
that doesn't make Wolverine a better character. Like, and I like Wolverine a lot, but
Wolverine is a better character than Batman.
I don't think so. I think Batman's a lot more relatable. I think he has a more fleshed out personality.
Dude.
Wolverine is a great character, though, to be sure.
He's constantly the internal struggle.
Believe me, I did not come to this conclusion lightly, guys. I thought about this a lot. I am not
just cheesing on the new game.
Dude, no. I have thought about believe me, when I first thought about this a few weeks ago, I was like, Batman might be better than X-Men. Then I was like, no, I have to think about this from a clear perspective. I've thought about this a lot. I've discussed this with Phil Pops and King Hippo.
Oh.
And that's my expert panel of comic book guys. And I've determined that this is the correct course of action to declare that Batman is better than X-Men.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is. Believe me, I know how heavy this is. I know what I'm saying.
You're saying a lot here.
I am. It's serious fucking business.
It is. Alright, back to Injustice.
Someone asked me.
Or not.
Someone asked me recently if there was a Marvel vs. DC game, who would I main? And they were like, would it be Catwoman or Psylocke or Emma Frost? And I was like, definitely Catwoman. That's saying a lot.
Dude, Psylocke is tight.
She is tight, but still. I didn't even have to think about it. No hesitation. I was like, Catwoman, no question. No question. That's a compelling point.
I guess.
Let's just put a majority vote that Dark Knight Rises sucked, and let's just move on.
Boom.
We can replace you. We did it to Carl.
Slips, does Dark Knight Rises suck?
It doesn't suck, but there's no way. There's no way Dark Knight Rises is better than Dark Knight.
K7, it sucks, right?
The second half sucks.
The second half of it. We discussed this at Tony's. Why on earth does Batman keep putting up with Catwoman in that movie?
Because that's what
she steals his jewelry. She steals from his business, essentially ruining his fucking empire.
Yeah.
And then she steals his car, and she breaks his back. Why on earth is he just like, yeah, I'll use her for help against Bane, who she set me up with to get my back blown out?
Literally.
Like, that logic makes no sense. She literally fucked him over 5 different times in the movie, and he's still like, I need your help. It's like, what?
The storytelling and plot holes in that movie is like on par with Superman 4. But just the choreography just saves that movie. The choreography and just the pedigree of Nolan.
I agree with that, definitely.
But like the logic of that movie makes no sense. Just like fucking Superman 3 and 4 make no sense.
They slap a pretty coat of paint over a weird story.
No, man, he saw good in her. That's what he says, man. He knew
He saw.
she wanted out.
How-
Yeah.
What evidence is there that there's any good in her at all? He had no evidence.
She explains to him, dude, he understood what it's like to have a bad childhood, to be desperate. She wanted to get out, man.
Yeah, and some people are fucked up because of it.
Dude,
And maybe she's just fucked up.
Maybe, but he thought it was worth taking a risk, and he needed help. He couldn't be
Yeah,
Bane alone.
his risk is that he almost died.
Dude, he...
How far do you have to go?
There's no
How
dude
far do
to
you have to go and be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't talk to this bitch anymore.
Yeah.
He could see she had...
He could see. You're reaching.
But
Well,
you just have to accept that this character sucks in Dark Knight Rises and she sucks in Injustice. Let's just move on.
At the end of the day, you didn't see good in someone, and you would have told her to get lost, and he did, and she ended up being right, and he is now with Catwoman in Paris or whatever. You have to hold that shit. Like, he was right.
It sounds
She
like
wasn't-
Christopher Nolan wrote himself into a corner and then he wrote himself out in the script. It sounds like Catwoman was just doing what Christopher Nolan told him to do. Not that Batman was acting logically.
He noticed that she wasn't living within her, like, she wasn't spending her money. She didn't sell the necklace and shit like that. He could see she was telling the truth about wanting to get out.
She still
Does that have to do
stole
with
it.
She stole it for herself.
Okay, how is
What?
that okay?
That's not super malicious.
I go to my
Yes,
neighbors
it is.
and I steal their big screen TV, and then they just like, we caught you, we know you have our TV,
Oh, there's
but
good in
you must
you.
be a good person because you didn't sell it? Like that, how does that make any sense at all?
It shows that she's not about that. It shows that she's genuine.
It's
about-
so she wanted to
Genuine.
steal something
Yeah.
for herself. What are you
Money doesn't,
talking about?
because money doesn't mean as much to him. It's Bruce Wayne. Like, you think, when he stole, if your car got stolen by her, you'd be furious. He was just like, LOL, you rascal. Like, it's just a car.
Because he's in depression.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. If this was like prime Playboy Bruce Wayne, I'm sure he would give a fuck.
No. Dude,
You're
I
insane.
would believe in Selena. I would do whatever.
It sounds like no. I was gonna say you're a sucker, but Batman wasn't even being a sucker. Like that was just completely irrational.
Shitty writing.
No, you guys.
Shitty storytelling.
That
Shitty
is
movies.
exactly how that character should be.
No.
She should be on the edge. Should be untrustworthy, but ultimately a good person.
It's
No,
one
that's-
thing if it's give and take. Like she fucks him over and then she helps him out, and then she fucks him over again and then she helps him out. This is literally a succession of her fucking him over, time after time after time after time after time. There's no reason he should go to her for help.
It's
She
Cat
literally
and
is responsible for him almost dying.
and she felt bad about it during the fight. They keep showing her, and she looks like she's like, "I can't. I'm sorry, I did this." Like she was scared. How can you blame her? She says that.
He didn't see her in this state.
But
He was getting
has
his
to-
back blown out when that was. He
Yeah.
didn't get his back blown out. And he saw Catwoman, and she's like, "I'm sorry." Even still, I'd be like, "Fuck you, Jesus Christ!" Oh, you felt remorse for me getting my back broken.
I'm sure
And
he
I
understood.
Forgive her for that. Like, that was
It-
fucked up, right?
Bane is intimidating. Bane kills his own henchmen. Bane made her think that she had no option. Like, I'm sure he understood that. Like, not everyone can stand. How can she stand up to Bane and that army? Like,
Bane she wasn't under control of Bane.
yes, she was working
No,
for him, and she was
Batman was like, I need to find some shit out. She's like, oh, I know where he is.
Yeah,
That's
she
when
was
she went
working
to
for
Bane.
him.
She was like, I can get you the Batman, and he's like, all right, cool. And then, no, she was not under Bane's threat.
She was
was like,
working
"Oh,
for
I can-
Daggett.
I can
was
fuck this
working-
guy over. Let's go ahead and do it.
No, she was not like, look, I guarantee what happened is they were like, you have to set this up. Like, lure him here. I guarantee.
Oh shit!
There's no
now you're
evidence.
just speculating. You're just coming up with hypothesis of why of a motive that she has.
She literally said, they're like, what are you so afraid, what are you running from, Bane? And she goes, you should be as afraid of him as I am. And she looks like she tried to leave. God, it shows her like I got to get the fuck out of here. Bane kills his own men in the movie. He's like, search him, and then I will kill you. He kills the guy. Like, if you fuck with Bane, you die. He kills Daggett, the guy that gives him his money. Do you feel in control? Like, that guy is scary as fuck, man. How can you blame her for being like, I have to...
What's under his payroll?
Yeah, she got the fingerprints for Daggett, and Daggett and Bane working together. She clearly knew all about him. She says straight up she was scared of him. How can you blame her for betraying someone because she was scared of Bane? You're telling me if Bane came up and was like, Bradley, 116-bit, I'll snap your neck. You would be like,
you
sorry.
In 60
yeah.
bit.
Gentlemen, I'll snap your neck in two. You wouldn't be like, oh God, sorry, you're done. Bullshit, man.
There's no evidence in the movie at all that she had that type of motivation to turn him in. That is not suggested anywhere.
Why do you think when they show her face that she looks sad? Why do you think she immediately leaves? Why do you think she says, like, I want to get out?
Because a girl's gotta eat. A girl's gotta eat. That's what she said. A girl's gotta eat.
No.
She's like,
That's
Bane
cold,
will probably
dude.
get gang full of money
She
if I
doesn't
this
give a
dude in.
That's cool.
And that's what happened. The girl's gotta eat.
No.
First you do what you have to do,
That's all
and then
about
you
her
don't get
file.
to do what
That's
you want
all-
to do.
No, Blake throws down her file, and he's like, you have a big appetite. And that's when she says a girl's gotta eat. Then he brings up Bane, and that's when she says, I'm scared of him. Like, how could she
That does not mean that she was forced to turn him in.
I mean, to me, that was my interpretation, that she
Get the
immediately
fuck
regretted it.
Get out of here, man.
Batman knew if she only cared about money, she wouldn't want the clean
You're
slate.
pretty much saying you're smarter than Batman then.
No, because Batman
So
did
you
figure.
came to that interpretation, but Batman didn't.
No, I think Batman absolutely figured that.
Well, then why did he follow her down there then?
I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed that she'd turn on me, but I think he realized that she was in over her head and she's doing what she has to do to survive. She wanted that clean slate, man. Why do you think she was doing everything Daggett told her to do? She wanted that.
Batman knew that she was under his control. Yeah, he shouldn't have gone down there then.
Well, he wanted to fight Bane. If you had told him she's going to betray you and a gate will crash and you're going to have to fight Bane, he would have just been like, fine. He thought he was going to beat Bane.
No, bullshit.
Yes, he did. Alfred tells him. Alfred's like, don't fight. You can't fight
He
him.
did want to fight Bane.
Yeah, he did want to fight Bane. He blows up Alfred questions him fighting Bane. He's like, he's younger, he's faster, he's well trained, and he has something, he has like belief or whatever, and he's like, you're just worried that you don't think I can beat him anymore. Like, he wants to fight Bane.
Either way.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Dude, I just refreshed TYM, and GGA Pimp Him Jim has a status update that says horse dicks are so big.
He has to be one of the weirdest people I've ever met.
I just wanted that on the podcast. Alright, let's move on from this bullshit.
I'm curious what people think.
About horse dicks?
I think they're big.
They're huge. I mean, there's a reason that the phrase horse cock exists. They're known to be huge.
Theo, what's your opinion on horse cocks?
Yes, they are. They are pretty meaty, I guess.
I mean, have you ever seen a horse piss? It's like a hose is going off. It's kind of tight.
Tight?
Yeah, it's kind of tight.
Tight.
Because, like, the water pressure, like, it's just pouring out. It's kind of tight.
So do you think, like, horse vaginas are super big?
Yeah.
Can we talk about...
Would you rather have a horse raping you or newbie raping you?
Wow, that's kind of racist.
That's super racist.
Jesus Christ.
So you're saying his newbie's dick bigger than a horse's?
God.
If you're forced to choose,
I'd rather have newbie rape me than a horse.
then
Do
now
you
are
think
you?
Stay has like a big rock cock, or is there just nothing there? Like, what do you think?
You think he has to trade up?
Like, there's
He has to wait like 10 minutes to trade.
I'm sorry, I'm in cooldown.
You will burn.
Run while you can.
Can we talk about, like, maybe, like, when a girl, like, you know how girls like to do that little thing where they put their index finger and their thumb, like, really close together, and they're like, oh, he's small. Can we talk about that maybe their pussy is just fucking huge?
We can talk about that.
Like, why, like, it's always, oh, this guy's dick's small. Why is there no thing about girls' vaginas just being fucking humongous?
I agree
Well,
with
dude,
that.
just look down and see if you're well endowed or not. It's not
Yeah.
that hard.
It seems
I'm
that
just
you're
saying,
outraged
like,
about this.
there's the societal, you know, trend is, oh,
I'm with you, Slips.
Slips,
It's-
are you guys just envying newbie?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like, why would
We're
you? be so
iffy
outraged?
horse cocks.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm small, I'm just saying, like,
Have you
what-
seen like
how
all the
come
pills?
girls don't have that thing where, oh my god, my fucking vagina's huge, this is a problem.
Yeah, there's all these pills about making your dick bigger. What?
Yeah,
How
why-
about
why
a smaller
are pills
pussy pill?
about, you know, making your vagina small?
That's what I'm saying. We
It's
need a-
always our fault.
Yeah. The smaller pussy pill.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
That's kind of sexist.
What?
We'll
How
put a
come
poll-
whenever I go to a porn site, there's not like an ad saying, you know, microsize your pussy?
Because that shit's painful, dude. That's why
What?
rape is unpleasant.
Just saying. Society needs to think about that.
Yeah, there's a double standard.
That's. And now it makes it. Now I sound like I have a small dick.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you do.
Let's edit that out.
16-bit confirmed.
It definitely sounds like it.
Yeah,
You're
like
super passionate about this for a reason.
I'm fine. I'm just saying. I feel bad for the ones that do.
Mhm.
For all of our listeners with little dicks, I feel for pain. Anyway, should Injustice be 3 out of 5 rounds?
I think so. I think that's one point into Dave had correct.
I think it is what the lead designer, Paulo, has publicly said. That's what he has in mind. And I do see the argument, but the counter to that is when the TOs are saying that they don't think it could be done, I would go with what they say. 'Cause personally, I hate the tournament. I don't want to go to a tournament and it takes a million fucking hours and it lasts all goddamn day. I know at GGA we did our first Ghost Battle series and we did it 3 out of 5 and it lasted till 1 in the morning.
No, it didn't. It lasted
it
till
did.
like midnight.
No, it didn't. It was 1 in the morning. We all were like, that was too long. Like, if you have a bunch of 3-2 matchups and shit, it adds up.
What about just having more setups and doing less?
Well, that's the argument. The Swiftzilla guys are like, well, we're doing round robin tournaments that are 3 out of 5, and that's fine. But the TOs are saying that, well, you're not going to have 20 dedicated setups. It's just not going to happen when Injustice is like the 3rd most popular game and they have a lot of shit to run. I defer to the TOs. Personally, I don't actually care that much either way, but if the TOs are not... the TOs, in my opinion, they don't have any reason to deny it. Like, I don't see... If they're saying we just can't do it, then they can't do it and we have to hold that. Like, it's not like they're going to have a vested interest, right?
I would also argue that some matchups are bad enough that maybe you do want it to make it 2 out of 3 just to make it interesting. Like for the 7-3s, like say Zod fights, you know, a really good Aquaman. You know, supposedly this is a terrible match. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. and let's say Aquaman wins the first one, and then Zod wins the next, and Zod steals the third game. And then now, it's not over. Like, he's still got to win one more, but it's still like a really hard match for him. It's just like if it was 2 out of 3, he would have gone on, but then he ends up losing the next 2 games because it's a super hard match. Like, it's true. It's super ideal. The more you play, the more it gets weeded out who's better. But it also, sometimes that's not true depending on how bad the matchup is.
But that's like a double standard for Flash players that just kill you so quickly in the first 2.
Yeah, it works both ways. I don't know, it's hard. I don't know. I don't care what they do either way. I get it on both sides, but they both have their pros and cons, and I don't know if you can make a case good enough for everything to be 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but what about, part of tournaments is having those bad matches covered. And 3 out of 5, the best player will always win.
Well, then why don't we do
Not if the
first
matchup
10?
is bad. Not if the matchup is that bad, though.
Have an alt to cover it.
We're the ones that give them our money to travel to those tournaments, and would it just kill them to have, 1 or 2 more matches for tournaments?
That's what I'm saying. If you pay to travel, get the most for your money.
But I also pay to have a streamlined experience, and I don't want my pool to be at 3 in the morning, so I don't want my 9 a.m. start time, because everything runs late. And I think the argument with a better player we're going to win, that might be true, but then why don't we go to 5 out of 7? What's the cutoff? Why are we not doing round robin? Why?
I think if the dev says 3 out of 5 is the way it was designed, that's the way it should be.
Well, the dev also doesn't have a random select button in the character, in the stage select. Now the dev hasn't said anything, but just we make up arbitrary rules all the time. We make up that you can't, that we do double random. We have, we ban, infinites get banned, stuff like that. The devs tried to balance Akuma in ST, or even in HD Remix. They tried to balance them again. Yeah. And everyone was like, they went against what the devs say. We do arbitrary stuff like that all the time. I think it's a good guy. If Paulo says, I want it to be 3 out of 5, I think that's worth listening to, but it's not the ultimate, well, we now have to do what the dev says. I do see their point. In this game, the way rounds work, it can be really rough. You can... if you're fighting a Flash player and he gets his 50-50, he guesses right on Wake Up, you've lost your whole bar.
Yeah.
You don't come back, and then you're like, God, now I only have 1 game. I barely even had time to adjust to his tendencies because the game was fucking 30 seconds long. Now I'm short a game. It'd be nice if it was 3 out of 5. I don't know. I don't particularly care, but if the TO say it can't happen, I'm just like, alright, whatever.
I like the round system in Injustice. It's cool.
I like it too. I'm glad the game differentiated itself. I don't have a problem with it, but it does lead to situations where you're just like, well, I'm fucked. That works both ways. It's fine.
I do agree with Dave that the game does favor Runaway a lot.
Yeah, what do you think of zoning in Injustice?
I don't think zoning in itself is really strong. I just think that running away and lame style works really well in Injustice.
The simple notion of walking back is really hard to deal with in this game, especially if their footsie outranges yours.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Because they're just gonna walk back and they just get to react to whatever spacing you put yourself in. If Catwoman is fighting Aquaman, he's just walking back. She starts walking forward. she needs to get in range of at least forward 1. And she finally gets in that range, but he will be able to react that she's in that range and just back 1, because his back 1's faster, and I think it has just as much, if not more, range anyway.
It's basically pretty similar.
It's like, and then her alternate is the jump, which he can just down 2 on reaction. Like, that type, so it forces her just to kind of just throw shit out. Like, throw out like a random back 3, or just throw out just hope to God a low whip hit, like you said. Like, those, like, Green Lantern can do the same thing with, like, his back 1. Like, just
Yeah,
back.
Green Lantern is worse.
Yeah, like, he's just as bad, if not worse. So it's like like, that is tough. Like, that I understand. Like, and then, like, some characters have a hard time dealing with people just jumping back. Like, if you don't have an answer for that, like, that's a problem. So, I think that's a Nightwing problem. Like, when he's in a scrimma and people are jumping back, he doesn't really have shit to really handle it. Like, he's gotta get close and then go into stance, and then he can flying gracing them when they jump back and stuff like that. So, and Street Fighter 4 is kind of like that as well. It favors the person who has the life lead. If you have the life lead, you're set. And that's almost in every matchup in Street Fighter 4, at least as far, like, zoning is almost irrelevant. I think Sagat, like, is the only one where it's like, even if you have the life lead, you need to go in or something like that. So, yeah, if you have the life lead, then, I mean, you definitely have the advantage.
I do think most characters in this game have a really solid comeback factor, though.
Yeah, and the good thing is, like, I like how when you knock someone down, it's a pretty bad position for him, for most characters anyway, or not most, but for a handful of them. I think Aquaman's screwed when he gets knocked down.
Yeah, definitely.
His wake-up attacks are bad.
But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, because unless you're like Destro, where you can just like do a deep jump in on him all day on wake up, they're probably just gonna assume that you're gonna respect him on wake up, and then, oh crap, he scooped me. It's like they always give you the disrespect that you know that your wake up sucks, so I'm just gonna go in on you on wake up, and then, oh, you make the read and just scoop them or whatever.
I would say that Aquaman, you can blow up his wake up attacks. Just, you pretty much get a free jump in. His wake up attacks just don't cover over the top of him, or you can just stuff him. Like, you can learn the timing to just stuff both of them.
But oh, go ahead.
Neither one of them are fully invincible, like his Trident Rush nor his Scoop.
Yeah,
so for in some matchups, he's just perpetually in a vortex because his wake up
Flash.
sucks.
Like, that's yeah. Flash getting his Oki on Aquaman is a nightmare for Aquaman. Like, at least Superman has like 50 billion wake ups, so he has a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, like Frost, when she gets you, when you knock her down, you're just like,
yeah,
I'm not even gonna bother.
It's like it's like you meet her, burn back there on wake up. Oh shit, I got parried.
God, I hate her.
I still hate her.
I hate her. I hate her so much.
Does this mean you don't like me?
Ugh, yes.
Her and like Black Adam are one of the few characters where it's not over till it's over. You can have a full life bar on Black Adam, and at any time he can just get 2 dive kicks on you, and it's even. Yeah. Or at any time, Frost can freeze you, and from there on, just pray that you guess right.
Batgirl
too. I mean, if Batgirl gets you in the corner, it's pretty much over.
Yeah. She's rough.
She's good.
What's your top 5? Let's go over this.
Okay, just to make it more interesting, I'll do my best to put it in particular order.
Alright.
I'd say number 1 is Martian Manhunter. Number 2 is Zod. 3 would be Superman. 4 would be Killer Frost. And 5 would be Batgirl.
Interesting.
Why Zod number 2?
I think that as much as Pig dislikes the Aquaman matchup, I do think that Zod still gives Aquaman problems on his side. And I just think his trait is just so dominant
It's ridiculous.
and is just so versatile and just bodying the whole cast that why would he not be top 5? I mean, once he presses the O button, hashtag PS3 player, he gets free interactable for a ton of damage.
Yep.
How can you know that your character does this, but still not have confidence in your character? How can you know that your character has like endless mix-ups with the low laser and the overhead trait grab,
Yep.
and not have confidence in your character?
So you subscribe to the theory that the Zod players so far have just got unlucky.
It's the two Zod players that represent the character are very skilled players in what they do. Like, Dave is a phenomenal zoner with the character once he gets in the mode. And I think just Pig is a really determined person. And he too is a really good zoner with the character. But I also do think they both just have matchup inexperience, which essentially cost Pig top 8 at TFC. I think once they just take every single matchup to the lab and figure out what Zod can harass each character with, he's going to be an unstoppable force of nature.
What did you think of Dave at Umicon?
It was pretty underwhelming. I mean, when Dave gets a life lead and starts keeping you out, it's fucking impossible against him. I just think maybe it was his first tournament in Injustice after UFGT, so maybe he just felt a little rusty, a little unprepared. But I'm sure he learned from his mistakes and he'll give us a better showing next time.
K7, did you watch the stream? What did you think? Like, what did you guys think? I only watched a few of the matches.
Well, he bodied pretty much everybody except the people he lost to, with pure keep out. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think of his rushdown? Do you think if he incorporated that, he would, do better?
I mean, Zod's forward 2 is a really good footsie tool.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's really frustrating to put up with Zod's rushdown when he gets that trade out, because even though the overhead grab is unsafe, you're always going to like preemptively low block because you think to yourself, oh, he's dashing toward me. He's going to low launch me because I'm just preemptively avoiding the overhead. And then you think that the Zod player wouldn't have the balls to overhead grab you at point blank. But they do, and it gets you every single time. I mean, I think Zod's the only character in the game where the trait is what makes him so godlike.
Zod's trait is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think it's not as much as the trait in itself, but just how often he gets it.
Yeah, and with the godlike zoning, he just keeps you out until he gets the trait, and then boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Slips, what did you think of Umicon?
I don't know about what.
I mean, who impressed you? Who didn't?
I mean, King's Batman was awesome.
Yeah, King was awesome.
I love that someone made a gif of that long
That
run
block
of,
string.
Yeah, like I remember watching it and I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, A, I can't believe that he had to block all that, and B, he actually did.
He did, yeah. That's the coolest part. I mean, King's part in that is cool, but the coolest part was his brother actually blocking all of it.
Why
was
did he
awesome.
push block?
Yeah, seriously.
He had meter.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
if
he
you
ended
can
up
block
losing
all-
like a good 20-30%. It was crazy. It was awesome. It's good to see Batman can still do that, I
It was
guess.
cool to see.
Yeah.
That was tight.
Forever King Jr. looked awesome. Like, I saw him.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see a little kid just rocking at tournaments.
His Ares looked pretty good.
Who did?
Yeah.
Is Ares good?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know.
I think him and Joker are secret top 10.
Get the fuck out of here.
Joker?
Joker?
Dude, if he knocks you down, you're dead.
Why?
Okay, so
In
when
the
he gets
corner,
back-
I see, but
when he gets a background bounce on you, and he throws his teeth, he's gonna do a jump 3 on you. Now, what he can do is he can do the jump 3 first. So you block the overhead, and then you block the teeth. But what he can do is he can wait for the teeth to hit you, and then he does the jump 3. So it's pretty much like a 50-50 vortex in that situation. Because you can't wake up out of it because the jump 3 is going to hit you. And you can't push block out of it because the teeth are still going to hit you. And he can pretty much just loop that with a background bounce.
Can you like meter burn back 3 out of it?
No, you're going to get hit. It's like Doomsday's Earthshaker, but you have to guess if it's going to go high-low or low-high.
Interesting.
But
I mean,
like
that's
you
nice,
said,
but what if there's not a bounce thing in the back?
yeah, I mean, like I said, Joker's Okazemi is stupid, but almost everything else about that character is really bad.
It's like, he seems like he's got to set up the teeth, and he's got to settle with a 3-way guessing game where everyone else would pretty much get like some sort of 50-50. It's like he does teeth, and he either has to do like a jump attack immediately to stop people from jumping out, or he throws teeth and then he jumps and then he's it's like it's like you said, like the Earthshake type thing. So then it's like a 3-way after that, or they could backdash, and so you have to. I don't know. It's the teeth are like good. There's just so many different reactions that people will have. It seems like it's hard to kind of narrow that down without like a long in a 2 out of 3 set. I think that's the problem with Joker.
I know that Aquaman destroys Joker in every single aspect, but he is probably like the only character in the game that has to take that teeth setup like a little bitch.
Yeah. What teeth setup? The background bounce?
Well, just any kind of teeth setup, because he can't wake up out of it, and his backdash doesn't really have that great of range, so he can't do that. And I mean, every time I try to jump out, Joker's jump 3 hits me, and I still get launched by the teeth.
Yeah, I don't know. He's weird. He's someone it's going to take someone like really smart to really figure out how good he is.
His trait sucks.
Like Quark? What if Quark wins Evo?
Yeah, Quark.
That actually would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Quark is really adamant that if Joker gets a knockdown on someone, they will die. So,
Have you played Quark online?
I haven't played Quark, but my training partner, who's like a huge online warrior, and he used to go to console combat from time to time, he literally only plays Joker. He's number 3 on the PSN leaderboards, and he's only played Joker throughout the launch of the game. And yeah, when I play Aquaman and he knocks me down, there goes my entire life bar. So
It's tight. I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, it is tight, but I mean, just what else does the character have, you know?
I mean, what else does Killer Frost have besides slide? As long as you have your stick.
Yeah, but I mean, she still has the knives, which are decent zoning tools. She still has the iceberg, which some characters have to respect.
Yeah, I guess.
She has an air dash, a safe down 2,
Parry.
down 1 into slide.
You could do that with Joker. He's got a great jump 3. He's got a great down 2. He's got a good sweep.
He's got a good jump too.
Yeah, he's got a great jump 2. His gun's not terrible.
So
I don't know.
if Joker's good, who is your bottom 5? It's hard.
Yeah, because so many characters in this game have some good shit, but Joker, and this is no particular order, Joker, Shazam, Catwoman,
Steve's happy. 16 just creaming himself.
Cyborg.
What? He's not that bad.
He's like Noob Saibot in my eyes. He's too one-dimensional.
Ah.
Yeah, so Joker, Shazam, Catwoman, Cyborg, and I'm just gonna say Nightwing just because the community's not representing him as well as they should.
Interesting.
I have no idea who the bottom 5 is. We did a bottom 5 with the Arma, and like after it, like I remember thinking, I was like, God, I was like, just edit it out. I sound like a complete idiot. I was like, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Nobody
I was like,
knows.
edit that out. Edit this out too.
Yeah.
Get it all out.
No, keep that Catwoman thing. That's tight.
Yeah, but as soon as I make it to Nightwoman, please Nightwing.
Hey, woman.
Catwoman.
Hidden DLC. Alright, you guys got anything else? I got 2 more things.
No, go on.
Go ahead.
NEC top 8 predictions. Let's have it.
Do I go?
It's all you.
All right. So,
In order
Do I
if
have-
you can.
do I have to include myself on it, or can I just hypothetically if I didn't go?
No, you have to include yourself.
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean, he's just gonna say himself, so you don't have to include yourself. I say you don't have to.
okay.
I
So
Go ahead. I
Okay.
don't care.
Tom Brady, never mind. Starting over.
Damn.
Okay, so Rico Suave, Forever King, Smargasm,
Interesting.
Sonic Fox, Tyrant, Slayer, and what else am I missing? Pig,
One more.
and one more.
What about the Ohio guys?
I said Forever King.
Okay.
No playing to win.
It's kind of tough. I'd say either playing to win or the Terry brothers. One of the Terry brothers, or both.
Isn't it weird how everybody lumps them together like they're one being?
Yeah, that is kind of racist.
It's because they share the gamer tag. Alright.
I noticed you have Smargasm in there, and you just lost the glass sword.
Yeah, no glass sword, what the fuck?
No, I think Smargasm is just like he wants it now. Like I think he went to UFGT and he went to TFC, but I think he's thinking to himself he really wants it now. I think just him consistently winning AK this past like 10 years shows that he's ready to take it home now.
Can he
Yep.
get over his choking problem?
Do you think what do you mean by him choking though?
I mean, fantastic at Fall Classic. He blocked that super and then just stood there.
Oh man,
Yeah, that was
was
brutal.
crazy.
By his own admission, he's not playing as well as he could in tournament.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. I think he's gonna finally break out at this point. 'Cause, I mean, in Mortal Kombat, he had those moments where, like, he beat Dizzy in tournament, or he's one of the few Kung Laos that beat Pig of the Hut in tournament. So he's shown that he can do it. So I think he'll make it happen. It's like I troll him a lot just for fun, but deep down I believe in him.
Alright, let's do the name game and wrap this up. You know how this works?
Yes, I do.
Alright. First name. You know who it is. Tom Brady.
Bracket booster.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic.
$100 in my account.
Damn.
I like it. Steve.
Down player.
Smargasm.
One trait.
Glass sword.
Choking.
M2 Dave.
Down 1-2 force push.
Pig of the Hut.
MT jump backs.
Wonder Chef. Taking too long.
Yeah, it took too long. Superman. Nothing else I can say about him.
That's close because that's not his main. It's allowed.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Selena Brownback.
Meow.
I like it.
I just
Alright.
think of 16-bit saying meow.
Yeah, I like your intro on that, where like just the claw came in the screen. You're like, yeah. All right.
I noticed, and Cool Whip has mentioned this, you don't have Bill Manoutis as the last name on the name game anymore.
I don't want to give away a secret identity.
I think everyone knows.
Yeah.
Should I end with him?
Yes. We need to go back to that. That was one of the best
Okay.
parts. The main reason we kept the name gang was that gag. No one actually gives a fuck about the rest of them. It's just that gag.
Yeah. So this is him without the gimmick. This is the man behind the Sub-Zero mask. Bill Manoutis. Hello?
Hello?
What do you think of Bill Manoutis? Say it.
I just told you in the name game.
No, this is different. It's a different.
Yeah, this is different. You have to answer for Tom Brady and Bill Manoutis.
I think of gas stations.
What?
Cause
Oh, that
one
video.
promo,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming. Alright. Do some shout outs and say whatever you
I want to start by shouting out Cool Whip. I think he's my favorite poster on TYM. Whenever there's like one of these podcasts or a dumb argument, he'll point out the logical like inconsistencies, and he's always one of those rational, sensical posters on TYM. I think he's great. Shout outs to Cool Whip. He doesn't
Shout outs
let
to
people
Cool Whip.
like whenever Dave's making no sense or there's retconning of the facts, he'll be like, "Wait a minute," and point out it. No one ever listens either. Like, that's what's kind of annoying, but Cool Whip, I'm listening. Shout out to Cool Whip.
I'm listening to Cool Whip.
Yeah. Keep it up.
I'm not listening.
He'll point out stuff that people say that makes no sense or is just not factual, and everyone just moves on. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. You just ignore him.
Like, I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. It's a long fucking show. Theo, you got anything you want to say?
Well, just my shout-outs. I first want to give a shout-out to Mosp, probably the most underrated player in SoCal. His Scarlet was really underrated. His Flash is really slept on. So he's first on my list. Rampage said he wants a positive shout-out, so fuck that guy. I hate him. I mean, all he does is just bitch and moan about injustice. Like, he doesn't do anything to help the community, so fuck that guy.
It's like Steve's friend running that dude over.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. Oh, shit.
Shout-outs to Rachusko. He's another regular Wednesday Night Fight. He actually inspired me to pick up Aquaman. Just because he showed how great the character is. Pretty much proving Wonder Chef wrong. And I mean, pretty much the rest Wonder Chef shouted out last time. I mean, Cash, Sonic Boom Brad, Steve. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
You got anything, Slips?
Hmm.
Oh, and Rampage 254, I actually love you. I was just kidding. But still, fuck you.
Shout outs to The Voice. That's a good show. I like The Voice. I think The Voice is better than X Factor. Simon Cowell can hold that shit.
Is Allison Hayslip still on that show?
On what show?
The Voice.
Allison Hayslips.
Yeah, you don't know who she is?
I guess I missed that season. No, she's not on there now. The Voice is back to its original 4 judges.
Oh.
Christina's hot now, man. She's not a fatty anymore.
I haven't watched it.
Why is Art Killer B so negative about Injustice?
Some people just don't like the game.
He always makes it very apparent in all the statuses.
Why is his avatar THTV? You notice that?
I have not noticed that.
Yeah, it is. Alright.
Alright,
Are we done?
I think so.
Shoutouts to NRF. My homies.
Your homies?
My homies. Shoutouts to White Cyborg.
Dude, that avatar is super racist.
No, it's not, dude. It's
That is
really-
racist.
Yeah, you had to search high and wide to find a white cyborg because you couldn't
No.
bear. You couldn't bear to have
It's-
a real cyborg.
It's Bizarro Cyborg. He's the opposite.
Meaning white.
yeah, that's
No, instead of like black and super advanced, he's shitty and white.
He looks really emo.
He is evil.
Where did you find him? What is that?
I just googled cyborg and it came up.
You googled white cyborg.
No, I didn't. Alright, we're done. Want everyone to stick around and check out Revolver's awesome remix featuring Tom Brady, Pig, and M2 Dave.
King the best Injustice player right now?
No.
Now I gotta say about Rebella real quick. I gotta get this out about Rebella. If I don't get this out, I'm gonna fucking die. Burst into flames. One match we tried Morris and Manhunter. And I literally come with him like 5 times when he had like 15% and dropped every single one of them. And then he won. And then I left the game and he lose.
How do you break it up?
I'm gonna go to the West Coast, I'm gonna play Theo online, and I'm gonna show you were wrong.
Oink fucking oink.
Tom. Who's Tom?
The League of the Hut has empowered the West Coast to be the most arrogant region known to man. Some fucking guy is gonna pick up a character and in 2 weeks amass more knowledge than I have in the last 6 or 7 months. You're calling me an idiot.
No,
You're
I'm
calling
not.
me
I'm
an
not.
idiot.
I'm not. You
calling me-
ready for this? You ready for this?
Shut the fuck up!
Go front and do it. Let me
Jesus
see.
fucking Christ! I don't like you! Pig in the Hut!
He fights me. He beats me.
I'm just loading my gun. So,
Don't be a pussy. Oink fucking oink. Pop pop. Pop pop. Pop pop. Pop pop. Pop pop. Pop pop.
Wait, just let me. Wait,
Put the box. Pig. You know what? I beat Forever King in an online series.
Oh, hey, good job. You play Aquaman against Batman.
Shut the fuck up! Pig has the nerve to call me. Are you afraid?
I'm nobody in Injustice.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink. You haven't beat Wound Cowboy.
I haven't played Wound Cowboy.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink. The blocks that he does back 1-3. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da. No! I just seen Tom Brady, man.
What would you say?
It got really fucking hard. Oh, just done. Made it really hard for me.
Go give you a big hug.
I have Jets Pizza.
Wow.
Dude.
Are you gonna eat it during the show?
Yeah, I'm gonna start eating it right now. It's got bold pepperoni on it.
Bold?
Mm-hmm.
Bold?
What makes it bold?
It's spicy.
Oh shit.
It's bold.
We gotta talk about your Halloween thing.
Okay.
That was kind of... it was kind of disturbing how much you looked like her.
What?
I'm serious, dude. That costume, I was like, what? I had to do a double take.
I'm super proud of that costume. I'm not getting enough props.
It was good.
If you know that show, I had
Yeah, it looked like her
everything.
on the old show.
I got her necklace, man. The belt was the exact belt.
The wig was the best.
Dude, the wig was tight.
Alright. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Can you hear me eating this pizza?
Yeah, I can hear like...
Okay, that sucks.
Jesus.
Then let me finish it.